Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Mary.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some Historic lined up for y'all today. We're both excited for the Historic Anthology 5, which I believe we're going to get previews of starting later this week.
Someone sent me an article yesterday when I was streaming, and just like, here it is. Here's some of the cards. Like, someone's like, Ojutai's Command's coming back. And I'm just like, what? It's already out? And they're like, it's like 90% confirmed, 90%, or like 10% leak. And I'm just like, oh, well... Yeah, most of these leaks usually just end up being completely true, you know, and it looked pretty legit. So I did see some rumors of it already, some information already being out. But yeah, it should be coming a little bit later.
Officially, all we know is Vorn, Klex, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember its name. The original 8-mana one. That halves your opponent's mana and doubles yours, and it's a big commander staple.
Okay.
And then Whirl Rogue.
Yep.
So we got those two, not particularly exciting. There's usually, it's a 25 card set. I would say in the past anthologies, there's been maybe 3 or 4 that are kind of exciting for the format. So hopefully we'll get about that.
Yeah.
And we'll get to explore a little bit there. But we're just going to check in with Historic after a weekend that saw another Hooklandia Open.
Yep.
And another Insight Esports event. So
correct.
Two events going on. I know both Corey and I agreed that the Hooklandia event had more spicy decks.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, we played a lot of the tier 1 strategies, and now we're getting into, I'm definitely playing the tierest of the 1 strategies right now. But outside of that, we wanted to get into a little bit more spice and check in on the tier 1.5, tier 2 kind of stuff. So, yeah, it should be exciting.
Nice, fun, Historic day.
Yep.
So Corey is, of course, starting out by playing Tainted Pack. This is an archetype that we've sort of avoided a little bit because it's just difficult to put together. But couldn't avoid it for too long. Once it's we wanted to make sure that this was going to be a mainstay in the metagame before featuring it here, and it has been. Week after week we see a bunch of different variants. There's Dimir. Basically, it's base Dimir, and then you can splash whatever color you want.
Seen some Sultai. I've seen some Grixis. Grixis from the Zanman here is the one I'm playing, and it looks pretty good. I mean, all the little subtleties. It's so hard to be like, oh man, the red just breaks it, because it's like, okay, you have like a Crackling Drake, a couple other red cards. It's a lot of one-ofs, so it's hard to really definitively say the other color is so much better because the Dimir package is the main thing you need because it is Oracle, it is Tainted Pack.
Yeah. So, just a little bit of flavoring on the end. A red gives you some really good removal, Bone Crusher Giant, Storm's Wrath, things like that. But for the most part, these are similar shells.
Storm's Wrath. Only one-ofs.
And on my side, I'm going to be playing a deck from Matt Bamonte. This is Orzhov Death Shadow, a deck that we were both excited by when Death Shadow was first announced as being
Anthology 4.
Yeah, being added to the Historic format. And it tested pretty well in our short time with it here, but hasn't really seen success in the format. So kind of a flop there, but this is a list that is now incorporating Elite Spellbinder, a card that has been excellent across multiple formats and works really well in this shell. This is supposed to be a disruptive aggro deck, and that's exactly what Elite Spellbinder does.
Yeah.
Provides really good aggression. That 3-power evasive body also disrupts their hand, which you can even set it up, where you kind of know what's in their hand from the early discard spells, and then you Elite Spellbinder with an idea of what card you're going to take where you're really going to break up their curve.
And I really like it. I got a couple questions for you and a statement. But as far as the curve for that deck, Elite Spellbinder curves so nicely into Ranger and then into the 1-drop. So I think it just is perfect in there. And Elite Spellbinder is even kind of switching up matchups in Standard. These adventure decks used to be so bad against Ultimatum stuff. And now just with Elite Spellbinder, you really have game against Ultimatum by just playing it on turn 6, hitting their Ultimatum. But one thing I want to ask you before I start, any idea why you think this deck didn't make a big splash in Historic? It seems so powerful when we played it,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if there's specific matchups that it really struggles with. Normally you think
Fatal Push is too good against
disruption,
it. Yeah.
Your matchup spread should be pretty even, right? That's not a recipe for polarized matchup.
Yeah.
It seemed competitive. We saw a list with, Maul of the Skyclaves and things like that. This list isn't playing that because it's got to make room for the Spellbinders. But to me, I think potentially just not enough disruption, like just the discard spells maybe wasn't enough.
Yeah.
This is
not a very good fatal push deck or anything.
Because it's a little bit slower of a clock than modern Death Shadow because you don't have fetch lands and shocks. In that deck, you can cast Death Shadow as early as turn 2. You can't really do that in this list. So I think it's a little bit slower of a clock, and so the discard wasn't quite enough to disrupt your opponent for long enough for you to close the game.
Yeah.
And that's why Elite Spellbinder might be the card that pushes it over the top. Because that gives you that one extra bit of disruption that buys you, the extra turn or half turn to close the game out before your opponent stabilizes.
You can double Agadeem's Awakening and Thoughtseize and Death Shadow on too.
Oh, you can. Okay.
It's very hard, though.
Much harder, much less consistently on turn 2 than the modern deck.
And now that I'm thinking about it, it's like Fatal Push seems really good against the deck, and I bet Jund is just a bad matchup. Jund Sacrifice is probably pretty troublesome. Maybe that's kind of why it was pushed out, but other than that, just it played out so well when we played it. So it's just kind of shocking to me that it didn't do a little bit better.
And there's also a little bit less Jund nowadays. I know, a month ago, 2 months ago, there was a ton of Jund around in Historic. It was so popular. Now it's one of the most popular decks still, if not the most, but not overwhelmingly so.
Yeah, not 29% like it was in that one league.
More in the 10 to 15 range.
Exactly. And I still played against it. I played the Inside event. I played Dimir Rogues, and I started off 3-0. I was feeling good, crushing everything. And then I ran into 2 Jund food decks and lost really close matches, but still lost some close 2-1s. And it was a fun event, and I love playing that deck. It's so good.
Well, let's see how this Tainted Pack deck does. It should be a good matchup because I've got some good disruption, but you're also, essentially a control deck. You're not all in on the combo. You're sort of a control deck with the combo finish. Yeah. Which is a really good recipe. We've seen so many decks like that.
Like speaking on that, Esteas actually wanted to know, how similar do you feel this Tainted Pack deck plays to the old Dimir inverter decks of Pioneer?
I was just going to make that comparison. It really does feel like it. It's that 2-card combo where it's weird. It kind of plays out like the sideboarded games of Inverter, where the sideboard you brought in like more Jaces, depending on the matches and stuff, but you brought in more removal that's targeted towards a match, and you really slowed down, and you almost at times just won with Jace milling yourself, and like if you got Inverter, cool, but if not, you were just playing really, really slow and controlling. So I think that's a great comparison, and it makes sense why this deck seems to be so powerful.
And there's even a point in the favor of the pack decks in that Tainted Pact is a much better card as a standalone than Inverter of Truths was. There were times when you had Inverter in your hand and you just couldn't cast it because you didn't have some way to win, and it just sat dead in your hand. Tainted Pact is just demonic tutor when it's not being part of the combo. With maybe a 10% fail rate, 5%. So the much more effective card.
And they're both extremely cheaper than Jace and Inverter, so that adds to that. But you do lose with the deck constraint. That's where you even it out in power level, because playing all these one-ofs is just sometimes pretty awkward. So
sometimes you get the wrong one.
Sometimes you get the right one though. Okay, I think I can keep this.
I can keep mine as well.
All right, let's start with a Inquisition. Okay, I really like my turn 2 play, so I think I got to take that Thoughtseize. I'll pass to you.
Figured that would be the case. Okay, I will take 2 and play Salt of Savior.
The good dog, okay. All right, I have a Maze Mind Tome, and I'll pass to you.
That is a good turn, too.
Yeah, not bad.
Right, let's get in for 1.
I will take it. 19.
And I think I want extra black sources for potentially casting this Agadeem's Awakening.
Okay.
I am going to... No. I think I'm probably going to end up playing it as a land, so I'm going to play this Pathway on the white side.
And debating if I want to scry here. I think with you not having much pressure, I think maximizing the value on this seems better. So let's go like that, and I'll pass to you.
If I'd had something like an Adonto Vanguard there,
I'd be scrying. I'd be scrying real quick.
Let's attack for 1.
Okay, 18.
And I'm going to go to 15.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast a Skyclave Apparition.
Oh, I wish I would have scribed. All right, I'll draw a card. Tilt. Okay. Nice
Get that
draw,
tome out of
noob.
there. I thought so.
Nice draw, noob. Okay. Well,
This is probably the worst card in my main deck here, so I'm pretty thrilled to get a good target for it.
yeah, it's not bad against me, so I'll play this. Comes into play tapped, right? No, it doesn't.
No.
Okay. 3 wish counters. I don't want to give you a wish right now, though, so I'll pass to you.
This is a scary one.
'Cause I need a wish right now, wish right now.
Attack for 3.
15.
So you got 15 all now?
Yep.
So Corey can potentially kill me next turn with if he has a 5th land and either Tainted Pact or Thassa's Oracle in hand.
Yeah. Yep.
So the threat of that means I am going to play this. Make sure I have 3 black for Aghanim's Awakening, should I want it, and I'm
Okay.
going to play an Elite Spellbinder.
You're a jerk.
And so I just have to take Thassa's Oracle or I'm dead.
Yep.
So I will do that.
Okay.
And I do have enough pressure to
So I can still top deck one of those combo pieces and still win, but I could always Wishclaw for some other good utility card, you know, some kind of Wrath effect.
maybe a Languish.
Languish would be good. Sweltering Suns. Or I could cast a card in my hand. I think the only thing I don't want to do is cast Jace. And you're at 15, so you're still a little too low from, you know, respectfully going Ranger into Death Shadow next turn with the threat of this being able to get a Wrath. So I'm going to play a Temple. I'm going to leave that and pass to you.
Draw. Can't attack with the Selfless Savior because Corey can exile the Apparition, get a 2/2 illusion, and block it. So send it in with the other 2 creatures.
Okay. Smart no attack with the dog. Yeah, I think I just want to soak up damage, so I'll go like that.
Take 2.
Yep.
You see the 13.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to play Ranger of Eos.
Okay.
Trigger that. Got to make sure I always have at least 5 power on the battlefield to attack a Jace.
Yeah, that's smart.
So which 1-drops do I want? I'm still far away from Death Shadow. The shadows are not particularly good.
Mm-hmm.
So my other threat 1-drop is Knight of the Ebon Legion, which is fine here. I can also get an Alseid and a Fairy Guide Mother or Giant Killer. Giant Killer's bad, so that's
All of
definitely
them seem bad.
yeah. Alseid doesn't seem great when I have Selfless Savior too.
Yeah.
And Alseid doesn't protect from Languish.
Yeah, none of them protect from language.
So I'm just going to get 2 Knights.
Okay.
Then I'm going to play a Concealed Courtyard tapped and pass the turn.
Okay. I will cast the Brainstorm.
Has the one Fabled Passage.
Yeah.
1 Brainstorm. Hey, so you had
Had it.
Wishclaw Talisman if you wanted it. But
Yeah, had it the whole time. So let's get rid of, I think, these. Yeah, let's get rid of these. Crack.
Corey may or may not have a Jace in his hand.
May or may not. Only the audience knows. Let's go like this. And I'm gonna play Augur of Bolas, a card I used to love. It's pretty good. going to go with a Supreme Will, and I'll pass to you.
Ugh. Well, I think I'm pretty... No, I guess... Yeah, I think I'm pretty dead.
The only card I need can't be Thoughtseize. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, so all Corey needs is a land next turn, and then the Wishclaw Talisman finds Tainted Pact. You cast Tainted Pact for 2, and then 4 mana Thassa's Oracle will end the game.
Or I think the better sequencing is Oracle, Tainted Pact with the trigger on the stack.
Yeah.
I don't think it truly matters. I think the only way that matters is with the arena rope. If you do get roped out, it will still resolve, and you'll still win the game. I think that's the thing.
Attack.
I will... It doesn't truly matter. I'll block here. Take 4.
Take 4. You go to 9.
Yep.
Let's play this Grim Clan Pathway.
Okay.
And cast 3 Knight of the Ebon Legions.
Okay.
On my end step, they all get counters.
Okay, well, that last one I'm going to Supreme Will. Counter unless you pay 3.
I will not pay.
Okay.
Want to leave 3 mana up to activate a Knight in the face of a Languish. In case, for whatever reason, Corey doesn't have a land.
I do have the land, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, I search. You get this. I get a Tainted Pact. Then I will cast Oracle with the Oracle trigger on the stack. Tainted Pact. And yeah, I shouldn't have any copies of anything. So.
So
I have one of each of these.
You have one of each of these.
So yeah, so I just exile my whole deck, one at a time. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want all of these. I don't want these. And I win.
You can take the last one.
I could.
Yeah.
No, if I take the last one, you have 2 fatal pushes with your 1 card.
Well, the last one goes to your hand.
Oh, the last one goes to your hand. Okay, gotcha. All right.
I have a Death Shadow, so.
Okay. Fun.
Yeah, just drew a lot of creatures that game.
Yep.
A little awkward. You taking my my Thoughtseize of the Inquisition was actually the key. From that point of the game, I was behind, and I never really caught back up.
Yeah, but to be fair, I mean, my whole plan was to play pretty slow roll with the tome, thinking your hand was pretty slow. The Skyclave was literally perfect, because that did stop that plan. So, that wasn't bad. Otherwise, my hand felt pretty Thoughtseize proof. It's just a bunch of one-ofs that kind of do the same thing. Like, that's the one thing I really like about this deck. It feels somewhat Thoughtseize proof. To an extent,
You would think a deck with all singletons would be the exact opposite of that, but there's so much redundancy built in a format as wide as Historic, it's 5 different removal spells, they just all have different names.
Yeah, exactly. They all basically do the same. You have the 3 sweepers, like you would have 3 Shatter the Skies or whatever in Standard, and but they just, do different things, but barely. That is the nice thing about just a high-powered, multiple set format. Your decks can just have a lot of variation, but still kind of do the same,
Yeah, it's faux variation.
Yeah, there we go. All right, Rob, you got any cool questions from our lovely audience?
Yeah, Esteas had one that I thought might be interesting.
Okay.
How much better does a singleton deck get in an open deck list tournament, since it's more brain power for your opponent to try to parse your list of what you may have?
I was going to, until they finished that sentence, I was going to think, it's got to be an advantage, just because if I look at that, I'm like, yeah, I trust that it looks like about the same, I don't want to look through that on Melee or whatever,
I would say it's small, but it's more than 0.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's just a lot of stuff. And, it's tough to play around any card when they're one-ofs. Any specific card. Like right there, if you had, your Death Shadows were all 4/4s and I didn't have a Wishclaw thing, or do you want to play around my 1 Languish that you see when I have Sweltering Suns and stuff? Pretty hard to play around it. And, you could get blown out because of it. But, I think that's still pretty small. I agree.
Yeah, it changes the equation for your opponent and sort of sets them up to get blown out.
Yeah, but that's a good point. You gotta think with open deck list and closed deck list in mind. That's for sure. It's 2 very different things. How's your hand?
Not great.
That's not great either.
I'm gonna keep.
I'm gonna have a Psy keep as well. We'll have a jank game, I guess.
Fairy Guide Mode.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. All right, Temple. Oh, that's great. Pass to you.
Ooh, even better.
Uh-oh. Not a Danto. Uh-oh.
Attack for 1.
Okay, 19.
You can go.
All right. Remember when we were talking about probably scrying with a Maze Mind Tome? Yeah, I'll probably be scrying. Pass to you.
I will Inquisition at Kozlek.
Okay.
That was a fine draw.
Yep, you got 2 options, by Oracle or the Supreme Will.
I'm going to take the Oracle.
Okay, Oracle's
Not
down.
very afraid of Supreme Will, since I'm about to play my last real threat. I will attack you for 4.
I will take it. 15.
I will pay 8 life.
Okay.
Go to 12.
All right.
Play Death Shadow.
That's terrifying.
And yeah, I'll play a Pathway and a Giant Killer.
Why not?
You're
I
up.
will scry. I'm at 15. Yep. Okay, now upkeep if I want to scry or not. Like, this is a lot of damage. You can put yourself to 4.
It's 14.
Wow. So if you have a Thoughtseize or a Painland or something, I'm just dead. So I think I need something here. So I'm going to scry. That's not a something. So I will put that on the bottom. Draw. All right. Your go.
Shock. I'm at 10.
Wow.
Attack.
I will choose no blocks.
Pay 4.
Okay.
Puts me to 6.
Yeah.
So now this is a 12-point attack.
Yeah.
I'm like worried that you can cycle into like a Fatal Push.
Bingo. I'm hoping there's one in my deck. There better
There
be
is.
a Fatal Push.
You cast it in the fun game we played before the show started.
Yeah, that's right. That was fun.
On turn 1.
That was fun.
And then I'm thinking like, is there a? Oh, you do have you have a Bone Crusher Giant.
Yeah.
So you could go like hit Fatal Push, hit Stomp, and kill me at 2.
God, that would be such gas.
But if you hit the Fatal Push, if I don't make you hit, what am I being punished by? Because I can make the Death Shatter survive Languish or Storm's Wrath.
Yeah.
I guess like any other bigger removal spell, because so this is, I said 12, because this is going to put you to 3.
Yeah.
So then any bigger removal spell, you're still going to die. I feel like the most likely way I lose this game is getting runner-runnered that way.
Yeah. I don't know how I can kill you if you don't pay it, but I know how I can kill you if you do pay. And it's very, very unlikely. But I don't see a way I actually kill you if you don't pay. But how sweet would it be if you do pay and I get it? I mean, come on, that's just good TV.
No, just take 12.
God, you're a coward.
You're at 3.
Okay.
You're up.
Well, I mean, honestly, before damage, I think I still need to hit Fatal Push. So, yeah, I'm going to cycle. Okay, I'm at 3.
Yep. Pass. This is where there's some other thing that punishes me.
Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Pact. Scry. Wrong pact. Dang it. That would have been gas. That would have been such gas.
And I just get punished by a different. I guess that was a slightly more likely runner, right? Because you have 2 Tainted Pacts.
Because I have 2 tainted bags. Yep. Yeah, I don't think.
But the fact that it was a pact was just perfect.
Yeah. I'm still going to Supreme Will. Maybe we got something.
Okay, so I should have gone for it, actually. I gave you
You for sure should have went for it. The odds of me getting that into that, first of all, just hitting Fatal Push, is a very, very low percentage.
It's not that the odds. It's the odds relative to the odds of me losing, in another way.
Yeah, but with 4 mana, you can lose.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still pretty awesome.
Maybe I should have memorized your deck list.
Yeah, you really should have, the open deck list thing. You have it on Twitter. You could go through every card. So, all right, everyone, that's going to do it for our first 2 games. We are split. We are going to head to the sideboard and see what we got for each other. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Versus Live. All right, everybody, welcome back to sideboarding here between Grixis Demonic Pact versus Orzhov Humans. Orzhov Death Shadow,
Tainted Pact, Corey.
Oh yeah.
Demonic Pact's enchantment.
Oh, that's right. All right. We'll just say Grixis Pact. Good enough, right? All right, so for my end, I'm just bringing in the 3 really good removal spells against, honestly, just Skyclave or Adanto Vanguard. That's really the tough one, and these 2 are great answers for this, as well as you go pretty wide with Ranger and Death Shadow, so Crux of Fate is pretty good. Do not want to be Pact of Negationing you very often.
You're a Grixis Pact deck. Why would you side out your Pact?
I know, I'm a fool. Completely a fool.
It's like he's never played this deck before.
Kling is also pretty slow, and then Jace gets attacked pretty easily as well, so we're going to take those 3 out.
Okay. And on my side, we just got some more disruptive elements here, a little bit more discard, some Thalios, which is a card I really like, Archon of Emeria, which is okay. Mm-hmm. It does stop you from actually comboing, but because you can't play both the Tainted Pact and the Oracle in one turn.
Yeah, it seems great then.
Yeah, but it is just a body that dies. So. Yeah. So fine disruptive cards. Cutting some of our weaker one-ofs. Giant Killer doesn't really have targets outside of the one Crackling Drake.
Yep.
And
that doesn't usually get big until it kills you, so you have to hold it up.
Yeah. And then Fairy Godmother, this is mainly here to get Death Shadow around blockers that you don't have any blockers.
Around Cat, let's say.
Yeah. And then, cutting some of the other removal. I chose to leave in 2 Skyclave Apparitions because you have a wide range of targets. There's a few artifacts in there I want to hit. It also can hit Jace if you get it out of your sideboard. Can hit Crackling Drake. Can hit Oracle that you play early to block.
Yep.
Just the most reliable, removal spell against what you have.
Yeah,
and
still
also
seems
a
pretty
body.
good. Yep, exactly. Still seems like a solid card. All right. Well, we'll get to our 3rd game here. We're doing good on time, so we can probably stretch this to a nice 3 out of 5. Rob, you got a question at all?
Unless I win this game, then we're moving on.
Of course, yes. That's how
it's obviously the way it works. So some original versions of this deck are playing Lutri as a companion. How do you feel about this type of version of the deck versus a companion version?
Yeah. So what Lutri, the companion rule is it has to be all activated abilities, right?
No, you're thinking...
Or it's just all one. It's just all one-ofs, right?
Yeah, it's all one-ofs. So you're thinking of Zerda as the activated ability one.
Yeah, but then you just couldn't play 2 Pact, 2 Oracle, right?
Correct.
So, yeah, that seems worse. You want to find those cards with consistency. Same with Lurrus. You don't want the deck constraint of not being able to play Narset, not being able to play Jace, Crackling Drake. The companions on... Either of the companions just don't come up enough to make it worth it to me to change your deck in any way and give your opponent information. Then if they Thoughtseize you with a Lutri as your companion and you have a Demonic Pact, they're taking it and they know you can't pact unless you a Tainted Pact. God, what did I say?
Demonic Pact.
Demonic Pact. God, okay. I just love Demonic Pact so much. And I think you're going to be playing it a little later, aren't you?
Am I?
Didn't you play Black-White Yorion deck? I saw some Yorion deck.
It didn't have Demonic Pact in it.
Oh, okay. I just assumed. I got immediately jealous when I saw that you submitted a Yorion deck.
That's also not today.
Okay. Let's just go to break and we'll start that back up.
All right, let's just take a break till Tuesday or Thursday and we'll be back.
Let's just go back on that
alert for
intro.
Thursday's show that we planned yesterday.
Anywho, you got any words?
I've got a few.
Okay,
I've got a few. As far as companions go, I think Corey is right that we've come to realize that the deck building constraints for some of the companions, in particular Yorion and Lurrus, have been, very worthwhile. But when you're playing a deck that's already, near singletons, constraining yourself in that way is, compounding the initial deck building constraints of the archetype. Mm-hmm. So, you have to find individual one-of cards that meet the restriction for a card like Lurrus. Yeah. And that really runs you out of space rather quickly as opposed to just filling out with, 4 Jace Vryn's Prodigy, which is a card I see a lot in those kind of decks that have Lurrus as the companion, or 4 of these things are like, you've got to fill it out with one-ofs, and that means that you're going to reach further down to the bottom of the barrel, and you're really going to cost yourself in terms of overall power level that much more than you would in a normal deck that is just all 4-ofs. So, I'm a fan of just going for the deck without companions. You know, the combo itself is robust enough. You don't really need the additional card advantage.
And one thing I'm noticing just throughout the history of companions, there's really not many combo decks that play companions. Not many efficient ones. The only one we see, and it's a loose combo, is the Yori and Sultai Ultimatums in Standard, and that's because you actively want more cards in your deck because you don't want to draw them. Otherwise, combo decks really do not want to, spend the time to buy a companion at all. You know, you want to not die, and then you want to win. You know, that's the story of a combo deck. And you know, and two, you don't want any deck constraints. You just want to try to kill them as fast as possible and stick with that plan. So I really don't think many combo decks that are playing companions.
And it's for the same reason. When you're playing a combo deck, you constrain the way you build your deck in a very specific way to make sure your engine works or your combo works. And you're going to compound that constraint with something else. It really makes it hard to, have a functional, efficient, consistent deck.
Yep. Well said. Well said. All right. So I'm going to start. All right. Come on. Oh, come on. So close. I started with this. I'm like, that's nice. That's nice, but no lands. Well, one land, but not enough. How about your hand?
I'll keep.
Okay. Just quietly keeping the blade over there.
Yeah, it's the best hand I've had so far.
I mean, that last hand was good. I guess you didn't have the Adanto, huh?
Oh, no, I did.
Oh, okay.
What did I not have in that hand?
Because that was a turn 4 kill.
Yeah, no, I drew the giant killer, which is the worst card, but I just had those 3 cards and 4 lands. So I was just praying that you wouldn't have a discard spell. Like if you did and you took the Adanto, then I couldn't cast the Death Shadow and my hand was nothing.
That makes sense.
So that's what I was worried about when I kept the hand. It was very weak to discard, but you didn't have it.
I didn't have it. Okay.
I guess you only play like 2 discard spells. So.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I will put that card to the bottom, play a land and pass to you.
Okay.
All right, what you got?
Knight of the Ebon Legion.
Okay, I will opt. Don't want that land. I will draw a card. Pretty good draw there. All right, I will play an Augur. Hopefully not rearrange the bottom 3. Okay, I did hit at least. They're both pretty awkward when you know about either one of them, unfortunately. So I think I will take this, and I'm going to rearrange this like this. Okay, now I know the bottom 3, and it's kind of relevant, so I'll pass to you.
Attack 1.
I will block.
Okay. I will thought seize you.
Okay. I have a Censor and an Inquisition. Or an Acquisition.
Mastermind's Acquisition. Okay. I will take the Censor.
Okay.
Puts me to 18. Then I will play an Agadim untapped to go to 15.
Nice. Cute.
Then I will play another Knight of the Ebon Legion.
Oh,
my
God.
instep, they'll both get counters.
That's gas. That is gas. Okay. I am going to play a Blood Crypt tapped and pass to you.
I'll go to 12 for an Emeria.
Okay.
I will attack with both knights.
And if I block, I force you to pay 3 to put counters on them. And I think that's worth it here, so I'll block.
Just take... Yeah, just take 2.
Okay.
Brings you to 18.
Yep.
And... I will duress you.
Okay.
Takes the acquisition. Playing a Danto Vanguard. Pay 4 life. Go to 8. End step. He's get counters.
Languish.
Yep.
All right. I will cycle. So you're at 8, right?
Yep.
Okay. Draw. That's not a languish. Draw. Neither is that. Now it's which card we think is better here, and it's probably this. All right, I will take 2.
Brings you to 16.
And I will cast a Narset.
Sure.
Activate. Okay. Hit some decent ones. Go with Crux of Fate. And I'll pass to you.
Literally the only one that's going to deal with the knights after this turn.
I got Legion's End. Come at me. In fact, that is what I was going to acquisition for, was Legion's End. Just a mana-efficient Wrath, basically. I do put you in a somewhat annoying spot of how to pressure Narset. Hey, I might also name dragons, too, so... Or I might name non-dragons. You never know. That's my choice. And we got you at 8, huh?
Yep, which is a little awkward.
Yeah, if I block a Danta, you can pay once. You can't pay twice.
I'm just going to send both knights at the Narset. Gotta slow down now.
Okay.
Corey found his sweeper.
No point in me blocking. Maybe I'll change my mind about a Wrath.
I'll play this courtyard tapped and pass the turn.
Okay. That was a cute draw. Don't think I'm going to Wrath this turn. Then you get to start with a Danto and then refuel your hand. I'm definitely risking a hand disruption spell, but YOLO. I got a Tome. I'm going to play this. I'm going to Blood Chief's Thirst a Danto Vanguard.
Can effectively just pay 4 life to deal like 3 extra damage here, which I don't think is worth it. I'd rather have more flexibility with later cards.
Makes sense. I'll pass to you.
Slam with both knights.
I will block.
I will pump the unblocked one.
Okay.
Take
Damage.
6, go to 10.
Yep.
I'll play Selfless Savior.
Oh,
End step, these get counters.
brutal. Little punish there too. Draw at end step. Okay. Upkeep all scry.
Yep.
Don't want a Temple of Tea. Still essentially got one. All right. Wrath.
Sack to protect a knight.
Okay. And I will play this tapped, and I'll pass to you.
The Crux of Fate is gone. I will attack for 4.
Okay.
Puts you to 6.
Yep.
I'll play Skyclave Apparition, hit the Tome,
Okay.
and a Shadow.
And a shadow. Okay.
End step, knight gets a counter, pass the turn.
I'll draw. Shadow is
A 5/5 awkwardly.
okay. Interesting.
Removal spell on the apparition gives Corey a blocker for the night and lets him live at 1. But I felt it prudent still to just get the tome off the battlefield.
Yeah, no, that seemed good. Guess I can start by using this card. I only need 4 mana to essentially stay alive. I could get something good. All right, I'll cycle. That's interesting.
4 mana to stay alive, so maybe one of his other sweepers, Languish or Storm's Wrath, would still only deal with the apparition, but...
You're at 5, though, so... Or you're at 8, so
Yeah.
any life loss...
Yeah, any way to deal myself damage would
All right.
still be lethal.
I think I have to just do this then. Erebos Intervention for 3, gain 3, go to 9. Get a 2/2 illusion and pass to you.
I'll go to 6.
Okay. Would have died if I went for my other play.
Attack with both.
Yeah, have to block this.
Could technically block either, since that's a 5/5 that pumps to 8, but
Yeah.
you'd rather just
No
take the
real
7.
point. Yep.
So that puts you to 2.
Yep.
And is there a point to me playing the card in my hand? You have 1 card in hand. I don't think you have any more sweepers that matter with the Crux of Fate gone. Legion's End would get it anyway. You don't have 8 mana. You can't have Languish plus whatchamacallit. And even that wouldn't be enough. So I can pump the Knight. I'm trying to, but like, how are you beating this?
I have a pretty sweet way to kill you if it happens. We'll see. But...
So, Corey, a couple questions, or a question. In the current meta, and obviously in this matchup, it'd be very good, but how do you think in general about Languish versus Shadow's Verdict as a sweeper to play?
I think it is pretty interesting, and Shadow's Verdict is much better against Jund, and it would be better here.
Don't mind me.
It is pretty close. It is pretty close, and I think there's merit to both. Because there's also like Yasharns, that you can't kill with Shadow's Verdict. There's Questing Beast. But overall, I do think Shadow's Verdict is a little bit better. Yeah, I think that card is very good right now in Standard and here.
I'm just going to go to end step, put a counter on.
All right. Since my bottom 3 cards I know, and they contain both Oracles, Tainted Pack is just lethal. Because they're at the bottom. I know this for a fact.
So you can take the one that's on top, leave the 1 card in your deck.
Scry 2. Well, leave 2, but still Scry 2 still wins.
Yeah.
But yeah, unless you had a Fatal Push. I don't think that's gonna do it. Yep. Nope. I'm dead.
I think this might be the most counters I've ever seen on a Night of the Evolution.
I know, that was impressive.
Yeah. It's another Death Shadow in my head, but...
Yeah, and how many counters did that have?
5.
It was a 7 toughness?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I had like a Siren Storm Tamer, but I think it even lived through that. But yeah.
That Siren Stormcrawler only copies 2 CMC.
Oh, you're right. So. Yep, that wouldn't have done it. Okay. Well, we got time. Let's stretch this.
Actually,
yeah.
We may still have time for another game, but someone in chat just told me that Destructoid has previewed some new cards in the new anthology.
Oh, let's hear them.
So, first up, we have Dramoka's Command.
Dramoka's Command.
Which will make Ross happy.
I love Dramoka's Command. Seriously, it's one of my favorite cards.
Yeah.
That's just the green-white one,
Good
right?
card, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Intangible Virtue.
Okay.
What's that one again?
So
The
1 and a white
token?
enchantment. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance.
Correct. Stifle.
Okay. A stifle for the pack decks.
Yeah.
And Vault Scourge.
Okay.
What's
So,
Vault Scourge? The
One and a black
Phyrexian.
Phyrexian,
Yeah,
flying
okay.
lifelink, 1/1.
Lifelink.
Was there any Phyrexian cards on Historic yet? Like Dismember isn't, right?
I believe that will be the first.
Yeah,
But
that's big. That shows that they're incorporating that mechanic at least.
Yeah.
That's either big or terrifying.
I mean, to be fair, this is different than giving us Gataxian Probe, right? Like,
yeah. That's next though, Rob. That's next.
Could be an interesting one for Aura's decks. Has
oh, right. There's
There's
a card in your next deck actually. Tezzeret's Gambit. We can't forget that one.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yep, that's already in it. I'm pumped for Dramoka's Command. I love that card, man. Celestia Company was already good. Dramoka's Command is going to be a nice fit into that deck.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Lovestruck Beast is a great card to fight with.
Yeah. I mean, and it's what? Okay, fight, +1/+1 counter, and they sack an artifact or enchantment?
Sack an enchantment. Target player sacrifices an enchantment, and then prevent all damage target instant or sorcery would deal.
Wow. Oh,
It's
yeah.
very good against Anger of the Gods.
Yeah, poor red decks. Red decks' bane of existence were green-white big creature decks with Dramoka's commands. Like, oh, now you also have a counter spell for their top deck burn spell to push through and stuff.
Oh yeah, sometimes you would go to burn their creature out, and they're just like, okay, Dramoka's Command, prevent that, fight this.
Yeah.
And just clean 2-for-1s.
God, are we playing any Celestia decks here? We got to get Dramoka's Command in there.
Yeah, that's definitely the star of the show so far.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is.
I guess it
awesome.
would be good in your next deck you're playing, wouldn't it?
Stifle,
it probably would
not
be.
a great one in a format without fetch lands, really. Though an interesting card against Pacts.
Can we proxy some of this card to try it? I'm playing Abzan counters.
Yeah, it'd be okay.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We'll ask nicely for Director Rob during the break, and we'll see if he can grace us.
It'd be okay.
All right. Yeah, might be average. All right, I will begin. Yeah, I think this hand is fine. I'll keep.
I will keep as well.
I got a Fetid Pools, and I'll pass to you.
I will play an Inquisition.
Okay, my hand is pretty good. I got my Demonic Tutor as well as a Disruption card and a Search for Azcanta.
That is really good.
Yeah, not a bad one. Best hand I've had all day.
Jesus. I feel like I just have to take Tainted Pact.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's just the best card in your deck.
Yeah.
By a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the Tainted Pact and try to live with the rest.
All right. Done?
Yep.
I think I'd rather look at your hand this turn because Adonto Vanguard is my most hated card.
I'm kind of happy to see that.
Yeah, your hand's pretty Thoughtseize proof. On the bright side, unless you top deck Thoughtseize, your Knights don't get a counter. So if I leave you with Duress, you take Search, and I think Search is pretty good for me right now, so I have to take that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I'm going to give you perfect information, play that land, and pass to you.
I will take 2 and play 2 Knights.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
Is it just the theme of the day to just always have all your Knights?
I think so.
Okay, fair. I'm going to play Search for Azcanta and pass to you.
Attack for 2.
Okay, I'll take it.
Brings you to 18.
Yep.
Look what I drew.
Oh my god.
I'm going to play this Agadine tapped. I'm going to pay 4 life, go to 14.
Okay.
Then I'll go to my end step and get some counters on these Knights.
God, you're lucky. All right, I'll brainstorm an end step.
Corey Inquisition, me looking for the Adonto Vanguard. It was right on top.
Of course.
Exactly
as
where
it
it
usually
should
is. As it usually is.
Surge is a cute one with Brainstorm. You at least get to clear one away.
Yep. So which card don't I want? I don't think I want that card. And yeah, I kind of don't want a few of them. At least I get to get rid of one.
Which one do you want the least?
Yep. I think this is going to be too slow, and I guess I'll take this one. So put this on top. Upkeep, mill that.
Yeah, Cold Steel Heart doesn't seem great.
Yeah, not great right now. Then I have this, and I will... Granted.
Okay.
Head on an adventure. Or I guess my hits aren't great. I think I just have to go with Tainted Pack. I guess that's still fine. Then I'll pass to you.
This is going to be an attack for 7. So just by itself, this is all lethal. Next turn.
Yeah, I'm terrified.
Yeah. So I'll attack you for 7.
Okay.
Brings you to 11.
Yep.
I will play If Near Dead Lands and Elite Spellbinder. Trigger.
Yep.
And what am I afraid of you Tainted Pacting for? You could get the Legion's End to deal with the Knights. That's not good enough.
It's not?
Not with this Death Shadow in my hand.
Oh my god. Oh, you're a jerk.
So if I play the Death Shadow, what could Corey draw that really punishes me? You can't Crux of Fate next turn because the Canyon Slough enters tapped.
I mean, is there any chance you're taking Censor here? Like, you're of course going to hit this. It's not a question.
Well, what if you draw like untapped land and cycle Censor into a 4-mana sweeper? That's what I'm thinking about, the 4-mana sweepers.
Oh, sure.
But I don't think they're a problem. I'm going to go to 10. I can put myself to 2, and then this is an 11/11, and it's lethal by itself.
God, your draw was just disgusting.
So I'm not afraid of the 4-mana sweepers at all. So yeah, so I'll just take the Tainted Pact, pay 4 life here, go to 10, and then play a 3/3 Shadow, and end step, the Knights get counters.
All right.
You're up.
That's disgusting.
I just had 3 discard spells and 5 awesome creatures on the first 4 turns of the game.
Yeah, is that it? I don't want this.
Yeah, this is a turn 5 kill with resilience to a lot of removal, big creatures to dominate the battlefield, and 3 discard spells.
All right, I'm going to play this. Dang it, so close. Okay, well, I guess I got to cycle.
If only you could play lands that entered untapped.
I know, if only I could cheat, and this would be a lot easier. I will foretell a card, and then I'll concede. Yeah, GG's.
But that's the major cost of the mana base in these decks. You got to play those crappy lands.
Yeah, well, you got to play every land. You got to play any land that adds black, red, or any combination of black, red, or blue, black, or But yeah, impressive showing. The mixture of pressure and disruption is a way to beat most combo decks.
Yeah.
And I think this one is not really any different.
And we saw Elite Spellbinder be great every time I cast it.
Yeah.
I think I needed that extra bit of disruption. So I think the 2 points that we brought up before the match started, me saying the deck was a little light on disruption for what its clock was, and then your point about Jund being a weak matchup, which I agree with.
Yeah.
Now the metagame has shifted. This matchup seems pretty good for the Orzhov deck. I think, like you said, pressure and disruption is just the recipe against combo.
Yeah.
So I think, now is a good time to revisit this archetype.
Agreed. Especially, with this coming around a lot. I wonder how the Demonic Pact matchup is against Jund. I imagine it's actually pretty good. Like, Jund kind of dirtles a little bit, and that would put Jund a little bit further into the back seat. And if that's the case, this is especially good, because if I'm playing that deck, I do not want to be playing against Cat Oven to block my Death Shadow, or Mayhem Devil to be pinging my Adanto, or just ping you. You can't be as aggressive with Adanto in a lot of matchups, but in this matchup you can.
Yeah,
that's a big advantage.
That's probably a good dividing line for what matchups are good and what matchups aren't as good, is how really aggressive can I pay life with Adanto Vanguard?
Yes. No, I totally agree. So, all right, everyone, that's going to do it for our first round. Rob, do you got any questions before we go to break?
Do you feel that Scourge has a place in Death Shadow lists in Historic?
It's possible. Like that's a card that adds to your clock, but if you look at this deck, it's a lot of disruptive creatures, and the card that you would cut that is also a creature that's only adding to your clock is Knight of the Ebon Legion, and you can't cut your 1-drop to add Scourge to your deck.
It's a 1-drop, but not in the sense of Ranger of EO searching for it. Yeah.
I think if you wanted to fit Scourge into your deck, you would probably trim the utility 1-drops off of Ranger.
Yeah.
I wasn't that impressed. Granted, this wasn't really the matchup for them, but it seems a little excessive to have 2 protection creatures and the Giant Killer and the Fairy Guide Mother. Maybe that's a way you can fit some Scourges into your deck if you wanted more pressure. But I didn't really have issues pressuring Corey. Danto Vanguard, Knight of the Ebon Legion, Elite Spellbinder, Death Shadow. That was perfectly fine.
Yeah, and honestly, here's what I think about Scourge. I'm going to go on my little rant here. This is going to be another excuse for Magic boomers to pair it with Tempered Steel and be like, all right, now I got all the keys and the tools for Tempered Steel. It's going to be great. And then you're like, oh yeah, Magic cards are so much better now than they were when Tempered Steel was good. So I know it's going to happen. People are going to try it again. I know you want to try it again, and it's going to be bad. Don't waste your wild cards. I know I wasted them on Tempered Steel, on Aetherworks Marvel, like there's plenty of these cards that I'm like nostalgic about that I'm like, okay, this has got to be good. It was so good in its time. And then you're like, oh yeah, Throne of Eldraine is better than all of these cards I think about,
Throne is indeed much better.
Yeah. So we are going to take a short break, and then we're going to be right back with round number 2. I got an Abzan tokens deck that I'm going to beg Rob to let me use Dramoka's. Abzan counters. And man, Dramoka's Command is nice with all these Winding Constrictor-like effects. So.
And I'm going to be playing an Izzet deck that you're going to be looking up and down to find the Arclight Phoenixes and Faithless Lootings, but they're just not there.
Oh, you got the Temple one, huh?
Yeah.
I love that list. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I agree.
I played it a decent amount on stream. So, all right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in 5 minutes. See you soon. All right, everybody, welcome back to Versus Live. My name is Corey Baumeister.
And I'm Ross Merriam.
And we got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Rob will be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, and burns. In the chat, make sure to tag at Star City Games, and he will get his favorite ones sent over to us. All right, everyone, we are playing some Historic today. Having some fun. You took down match 1 pretty convincingly, actually. That deck looked good.
Yeah, the Orzhov Death Shadow deck continues to look good on Versus Live. Maybe we'll see it start to pick up, with the Pact deck being quite popular.
Yeah, and it was like, right when it came out, it was pretty popular. A lot of people were playing it, because of course Croaky's played it, so, naturally it was the best deck there for a while. But still looked really good. The Pact deck, also awesome, not the matchup it probably wants to play against, with just being so hyper aggressive. But people are also going to be really prepared for Pact because it's top 8ing like 3 every top 8 these days, and it looks like the best deck.
It is sort of the deck du jour right now.
It really seems like it.
I don't know if people would say it's the best deck, but it's definitely the newest top tier deck.
Yeah.
So it's the one everybody's trying to react to. They have plans against Jund. They have plans against Jeskai Control or things like that, but they're really trying to develop good plans against Pact, and now we're going to see what the deck can do when it has a target on it.
Agreed. All right, so for round 2, I'm going to be playing a pretty sweet one. I'm going to be playing an Abzan counters deck, and for anybody who's just joining, we just learned from Anthology 5 that Dramoka's Command is going to be in here. We didn't have any in studio, so we did the best to proxy them here. My Bronze Hide Lions are going to be Dramoka's Commands. We're trying them out right now. We got to be the first person to be playing it in Historic. I mean, come on.
It's pretty quick. So if you're looking at Corey's deck list, here are the cards that he hastily trimmed to make room for those Dramoka's Commands. The Tezzeret's Gambits, 1 Driven Despair, and 1 of the Star Pupils.
And we're going to test it out. I'm excited to play. It's one of my favorite cards of all time. And honestly, it got me back into Pro Magic in 2017 with the Ban Humans deck. That played Dramoka's Command and Collected Company in Standard. So.
Dramoka's Command was in Standard for about 1.5 years, a little under, and I think it was the best removal spell for the vast majority of that time. It was a defining card in Standard, so a really exciting addition to Historic. Hasn't really made waves in Modern and Pioneer, where it's been legal, so we'll see if we can finally find another post-Standard retirement home
Yeah, it could be another boomer card like I was just talking about with Vault Scourge, you know, like that it's just not good enough, you know, and then here I am just a boomer being like, I'm playing this card, it's going to be awesome, and then we'll learn very quickly that it's not. You never know.
This definitely seems like a matchup where Dromoka's command could be very effective.
Could be,
because on Izzet decks, a lot of red burn-based removal that third mode is quite good against. I'm saying third mode. I don't know the order they're listed on the card, but it's the third most used mode.
Yes.
I guess in Standard, you used to use the Sacrifice Enchantment mode quite a bit because of Corsair Crucifix.
Oh, yeah.
Being able to
for the most part, it was put a counter on something and fight it a large amount of time. And the nice thing is, in combat, it made it a nightmare to block. Back when, combat was a little bit more relevant back then, I feel. You attack with a 4-3 tireless tracker, they block with a 3-2 tireless tracker, and you can go put a counter on this, fight something else, and then it's just good game. You might as well leave if you get that blown out.
I played the card in Bant Heroic where it was at its absolute best.
Oh, so, yeah.
You'll probably see some of those synergies come up in these games, and it should be nice.
Sounds great.
I'm going to be playing an Izzet, prowess. It's not really a prowess deck, but I don't know what
kind of Izzet aggro, I guess.
Spells.
Yeah.
I think that's what we would generally call it.
Okay.
But it is a more aggressive deck. It looks like Izzet Phoenix, but doesn't have Faithless Looting or Arclight Phoenix, like I said before the break. I think what we're coming to realize is that the modern Izzet Phoenix deck, in its heyday, was really propped up by those free spells.
Yeah.
And, having that hard limit where you can't Phoenix before turn 3 is a real problem. It, puts a ceiling on what the deck is capable of, and that ceiling is really limiting what the card can do. The deck is still seeing some success, Phoenix, but now we're seeing this other Izzet deck pop up that is just looks like Izzet Phoenix, but without the Phoenixes. Yeah. And honestly, I think it might be better.
It might be, because even the Inside deck, Inside Esports tournament was won by Phoenix. Yeah. So it's definitely still there. I was going to make another, boomer card joke for Phoenix, but let's get real. It just won a tournament. It's had good results. It has proven itself with Faithless Looting to be competitive, but that deck is still leaning away from being all in on Phoenix. Now I think Stormwind Entity is putting Phoenix on its wings, and that's the new bird in town.
And I was on Stormwind Entity, weeks ago. I thought that card looks really, really good. Glad to see it here. Also, just really happy to see a Terramander again. Love that card.
Scary Terry.
Yeah, one copy.
God, I haven't played that in a big event since Mythic Championship 1, where we both played that, huh?
Yeah. So you're going to see me be a little bit controlling here in the early game, try to turn the corner really with my flyers, but I got to keep Corey's battlefield contained because if the synergies get going, this deck is going to snowball out of control really quickly.
It really will, but this deck has always had some problems with just being able to stick threats and make sure that they, live. If they're answered on a one-for-one basis, it does get a little trickier. All right, my hand's pretty sweet. I'll keep.
My hand is also sweet.
All right. I have I will take 2 and play Pelt Collector. Pass to you.
Brings you to 18. I will play a Spiral Canal and pass.
Okay. I will take 2 and play Conclave Mentor.
That's what I was afraid of. So you're going to go to 16. So now I have the decision of which of these I want to shock.
Yep.
Regardless of what so I can either leave you with a 3/3 Pelt Collector or a Conclave Mentor.
Yep. Because it comes in, it's getting a trigger, and if you kill it, it'll get 2 triggers.
Yeah, but the second trigger won't happen because it'll be bigger.
yeah, that's true, Yep.
Yeah. I can also just let the trigger resolve and then kill this if I wanted to.
Yep.
If that interaction worked it differently.
Yep.
It's really threatening to be attacked for 3 here. My hand is not super fast.
Yeah, and this is the draw of this deck. Pelt Collector into one of the 8 cards is awesome. It's turn 2, 5 power.
Yeah. And this is the reason why, normally you would say you want to kill the Winding Constrictors and Conclave Mentors at all costs. That's 100% what you want to hit. But when you're under the pressure of a card like Pelt Collector as a 3/3, essentially a Wild Nicodle here.
Yeah.
That's definitely a scary thing.
Speaking of boomer cards.
I'm still going to go with dealing with the Conclave Mentor. So you're going to gain 2.
Okay.
You're going to have a 3/3. So you're at 18.
All right. And attack for 3. Pass to you.
It's a close call.
Yeah, that is close.
I will play an island and pass.
Okay.
Not a good set of draws here for my hand.
Good. I I have a concealed courtyard. I'm not going to be able to pump this.
Yeah, your deck doesn't really pump Pelt Collector beyond that first trigger.
Yeah, not too effectively.
At least via its own ability.
Yeah.
You know, with Droka's command and other things.
I will attack for 3.
I'll go to 14.
Okay, and now I'm kind of worried of a second shock, so I kind of don't want to play a 2/2.
So the Pelt Collector should only be a 2/2, right? Chat's saying.
Oh, yeah, because I can kill it with the trigger on the stack. Which is what I did.
Oh, yeah.
So then, yeah.
Okay, because, it doesn't see that ability.
Yeah, so I should be at 16.
So, yeah, you should be... Well, let's put you at...
At 18.
At 18, and then I'll play a 3/3 Stone Closer.
Okay, I'll memory lapse up.
Okay. Then I'll attack.
So then I'll go to 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Past you.
That makes it much easier. Okay, now I feel a little bit better.
I don't like it.
But now I've got a hit. So let's Expressive Iteration.
Okay, that card is awesome. That card has been amazing.
We hit the land. Hit a lot of lands. So, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Play Spirebluff Canal.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
All right. I will draw this card you know about. All right. I'm going to take 2.
16 all now.
Yep. I'm going to play Mikaeus for 3.
I will shock the Pelt Collector in response.
Rude. And then I'll pass to you.
This Mikaeus, though, is...
It's a good card.
Very threatening. I've got another iteration.
Okay. That card is so good. Even starting to make waves in Standard now with these Izzet decks.
Yeah. I think this is pretty easy. That to the bottom. Lightning Strike over here. Play a mountain and strike the Mikaeus.
Yeah, and here's these games where it's just you're able to deal with my threats and my deck looks super bad. All right, I got a 4/4. Pass to you.
Okay. I will Brainstorm.
Okay.
So my plan is to play these this turn, so...
4 cards? Oh,
three cards.
Okay.
Landed 2 more spells.
Sure.
Do I just want to keep all the... You're at 16.
Yep.
So I was planning to use the Storming Entity to scry cards away, but I actually kind of like all the cards.
Well, that's not good.
So... No, I don't like that one. So we'll put 2 back.
Okay.
Play Riverglide Pathway. Play a Storming Entity.
Okay.
Leave 1 on top.
Okay.
And I'll play another Storming Entity.
Wow.
Yeah, this was a nice curve. My expressive iterations were very good.
Yeah,
So
I can tell.
I was stuck on lands. One of them, the first one was just 3 lands. So I
Yeah.
just got the 2 lands I needed, and then the next one was like Lightning Strike, a good spell, and a card I could easily put to the bottom.
Yeah. Impressive.
I'll pass the turn.
Okay.
That and the interaction with the Pelt Collector, so it was only a 2/2. So that second shock got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's quite strong. All right, I will play Luminar Gasprint.
Yep. I think this game would have been a lot different if your Conclave Mentor was a Winding Constrictor.
Yeah, can't shock. Yeah, that would have been a big deal.
I would have dealt with the Pelt Collector first, but then my second shock would have been a lot worse, and all your later creatures would have been a lot bigger.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to put a counter on Luminarch, and then I'm going to attack with Stonecall.
I'll take 4. I'll go to 12. I'm
going to cast Dramoka's Command. before damage, I was planning on, if you were going to double block, I was going to put a counter on here, fight, and then still be able to deal with both.
You can't fight with the Stonecoil Serpent.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
They're
yeah.
multicolored.
Okay, yeah. Well, just kidding. Maybe that's not a great play.
So we're not attacking yet? So
I think I'll probably...
Back up.
I'm still going to attack because the prowess is going to get me.
So I'm at 12.
I don't have one of those, okay? All right, yeah, that was not great then. I'm going to play one of these, and I'll pass to you. Yeah, I'm gonna play... No, that's still fine. All right, good.
Cast a Brainstorm.
Okay. It's kind of a cute combo. Being in combat, put this on this, and then put something on everything. I'm scared.
Cast Expressive Iteration.
Yep. Okay.
Pillar of Flame U.
Okay.
You go to 14.
Yep.
Pillar of Flame U. You go to 12 and attack for 14.
All right. GG. Yep. Brutal.
Also drew a lot of shock sacking.
Yeah, you did. And Shock is just unbelievable against me. Shock is your best card, I would imagine.
Yeah. That's why you got to draw Winding Constructor instead of Conclave Mentor.
Yeah, but even if you still get to get the Pelt Collector, and that's kind of the important thing, and then you can just Lightning Strike on 2 or something like that. But yeah,
well, then your Micaeus
awesome.
would have been a 4/4.
Yep.
And I wouldn't have been able to Lightning Strike that. And then your... Yeah. I guess I had a really good card.
Yeah. Jamoka's Command is pretty awkward with Stonecoil Serpent. I guess that's a little bit of a nombo, but, still worth trying. Still worth trying, that's for sure.
And still a fine card in the deck.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to make some big creatures.
Agreed. All right, Rob, you got any questions out there?
Don't at the moment.
Okay. MTQ, if anybody is interested. Yeah, my deck, definitely just kind of does its thing. If you missed a turn of not killing a creature at any point, I snowball on you pretty quickly. But otherwise, the deck looks bad if you get answered on a 1-for-1 basis. But, I was close to kind of breaking through there, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is one of those high-tension matchups where it can swing really quickly either way.
Yep, agreed. Okay, game 2, I'll be on the play.
Just one of my expressive iterations had bricked.
Yeah, brick as in not hit a land, yeah.
Not hit the land on the first turn or not hit the strike on the second.
Yeah, that's fair. Ugh, this hand is pretty awkward to bad.
My hand has no lands, so...
Yeah, I don't think I can keep this.
There's also the turn I had Memory Lapse is basically my only play, and you just tapped out for a 3-drop. If that's a turn where you multi-spell...
looks worse.
Yeah.
I could multi-spell. It would just be make a 1/1 with Stonecoil and then make a 1/1 with Micaeus. That wouldn't be great. I just don't think this hand does enough. You're very likely to have 1 shock, which pretty much shuts this hand down. Song of Freyalise, maybe not at its best in this matchup, but does lead to some degenerate draws, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'll mulligan as well.
Okay. Somehow I'm ahead on the shuffling game. I guess I was ahead on the deciding to mulligan game.
Yeah, that's true.
A slightly different game.
A little bit.
Jesus, I might be ahead again.
No! Oh my god, same.
Yeah, I'm going to mulligan this one.
I think I might keep...
Had no blue mana. Had Mountain Shock, but that was about where the good points of the hand ended.
Yeah, I'm going to keep... it is not great, but I think it is better than going to 5. I'll put this card on the bottom. All right. Yikes.
Yikesing while I'm mulligan to 5.
Yeah, well, my hand, if it was 7 cards, I would be mulliganing.
Yeah.
So if that tells you anything.
I'm just going to cast an expressive iteration on turn 3, and everything will be fine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that card is just unbelievable.
Okay, this hand is quite solid. Definitely have to get rid of this one, and I think gotta get rid of one of these. Let's go that one.
Okay, I have a Swarm Shambler. Pass to you.
I have a Fable Passage. Pass to you.
All right. right. I'm going to go with a take 2.
18.
18. I'm going to play Song of Freyalise.
Okay.
And I'm going to tap this for mana and make a 1/1 and pass to you.
That's pretty cool.
Not bad.
Oh. Already been punished twice.
Good, good. It's my kind of game.
Yeah. I made basically 2 decisions this game, and I've been punished for both of them.
Yeah, excellent, excellent.
God.
Decisions, eh?
I'll pass the turn.
Untap. Draw. Chapter 2. I'm gonna go with. I'll take this card out and read it. No big deal. Okay.
Getting a Shiley?
Yeah, I didn't think the backside would be something I'm interested in casting into a memory lapse, but just in case.
Song can produce black mana.
Yep. So I'm gonna play this.
Yep.
And then I'll play a Conclave Mentor.
Yep.
Pass to you.
On your end step,
Okay.
I will lightning strike the Conclave Mentor.
Okay, I'll gain 2. I'll go to 20. Pass to you. Need a rip?
Brainstorm.
Okay. Let's hope your brainstorm locked. Song of Freyalise is looking pretty cool so far.
Okay.
Okay.
I will Pillar of Flame the Shiley
Ugh, lame.
and pass the turn.
All right.
So no land, but I did get to kill a couple things.
Yeah. All right. Draw.
Got some counters on your stuff.
Yep. And they have Vigilance and Indestructibleness. But now I do not have mana for like Luris anymore, which is a bit of a tilt. So yeah, I'll attack for 4.
Brings me to 16.
And then I'm going to play another Swarm Shambler.
Sure.
And I'm just going to put a counter on this now and pass to you.
Whew.
Tokens, tokens, tokens.
So, do I want to go a little bit for broke here and just try to hit the land, which would be pretty good?
Some expressive iteration.
I feel that would be the more likely play to hit the land, but it would be less of a payoff, and I think I need to get paid off.
Okay.
So I'm going to see one fewer card here. I'm going to cast Opt.
Okay.
But this one I know to the bottom.
Okay.
And then I will draw this one, which is hopefully great.
Yeah.
It's a land.
Of
And
course.
then I'll play the Storming Entity.
Okay. Yeah.
Try 2.
Ross just over here demonic tutoring for the last week and a half.
So I will. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I've got a decent amount of creatures, but I do not have, a way to push through. I'm looking for a certain command that just got printed. That would be nice.
I think I want both of these.
Okay.
Both on top. Taroka's command would be excellent.
No such luck so far. An opponent controls. You were thinking that
just
too?
Wanted to make sure. I was like, I'm 99% sure.
That would be busted. I'll attack.
I'll take it to 13.
Okay. I have way worse of a card. I have a Star Pupil.
Okay.
And I think I might as well just do this now, and I'll pump and pass to you.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
Pretty cute. If you do get some mana, you can buy Lyris and bring back Song. It's a nice little piece of technology.
So let's start with expressive iteration.
Okay.
Awkward.
Such a cool card.
Let's go like that.
Okay.
A lot of lands off that one.
Yeah.
Actually, we can swap these two.
Okay.
It's just Fatal Passage or Pathway. And
Sure, it's kind of the same.
yeah, there's no deck thinning when I know there's a land on the bottom.
Yep,
and so this
exactly.
just saves time.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it doesn't. No, I have a Brainstorm in my hand.
Yeah, of course.
I have a Brainstorm in my hand. I'm stupid.
Yeah, you are.
But that means we want to save the Fatal Passage anyway. So this is the way we want to do. Keep the Fatal Passage for the Brainstorm. Now the question is, do I think I can attack? I sort of think I have to. I don't really have. I guess I do have a Brainstorm, so I can just block a Swarm Shambler. So yeah, maybe I just play defensively for now. Play a Terramander.
Okay.
Pass turn.
Scary Terry. Yeah, I don't have great attacks with you having a mana open, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think what we're going to try to do is set up a 2-turn swing here, where I make Entity a 5/5 2 turns in a row and have the Terramander. I have 5 spells in the graveyard right now, so it's 3 mana to adapt. You have 2 in hand right now?
Yep. I'll attack.
So you have a Dramoka's command. Like a jerk.
Like a jerk?
Okay, no blocks.
Okay.
I'm at 10.
Then I will pass to you.
I'll Brainstorm.
Okay.
Yeah, put those on top.
Okay.
Play the Fable Passage.
Sure.
Attack for 4.
No blocks.
Take 4. Go
16.
Pass the turn.
And stuff, I'll put a counter on this.
Sure.
Oh, draw. I'll declare attacks.
Yep.
Bring them.
Block a Swarm Shambler.
Pass priority.
Adapt Terramander.
Tricky situation here. Because you can just adapt again.
That is allowed.
That is allowed. I don't like it, but it is allowed. Yeah, I don't really have a good line here. Sure.
Okay, go to damage.
Yep.
I'm going to go to 4.
Yep.
You're going to lose a Shambler.
I'm going to lose a Shambler. All right, and then I will play a Temple Garden pass, and I'll pass to you.
Okay, draw this card I want. Crack this Fable Passage.
Okay.
Gonna get a mountain.
Okay.
Gonna cast an Expressive Iteration.
Sure.
Awkward. Not a great iteration.
Yeah.
Play the Spire Bluff Canal.
Okay.
And attack you for 4.
No blocks, no effects.
You
12.
go to 12. And I'll pass the turn.
All right. Oops. On tap, a draw.
Tense game.
10th game. I felt pretty behind though. I'm gonna go with a Huatli Raptor.
You have 2 in hand.
2 in hand. Yep.
One of which I have to assume is Dromoka's Command. You didn't play land first. If you had an untapped land here, you would have played it first for sure, just to always have it up. So I think you're just on air. And you're at. Yeah, I'll memory lapse.
Okay. Had to figure you had the memory lapse. And I'll pass to you. Yeah, I guess I'll level that while you were tapped out.
Sure. I've got you very dead.
Yeah, I've
Got a removal spell for Serpent and more durations.
Yep. GG. I did have it, but yeah, just didn't have a good spot to cast it, you know? Yeah, it was a tricky one. It was a tricky one, because there's so many times when I could, like, put a counter on Shambler, fight this, but if you just have 2 spells and you had 3 mana open, you know, then it's just actively bad for me, you know? But, yeah, that was tricky.
Yeah, you haven't been able to use the Dromoka's command that well. You stumbled a bit on lands while I did. I think if you'd hit a 3rd land drop a little earlier, you might have been able to put that game away.
If you were, I was just praying you would block. That one turn when you blocked with Stormwind Entity, you could have cast just Brainstorm.
Yeah.
And I had just the sweetest line of put a counter on here, have Star People fight this, put the counter on this, and it would have just been so beautiful. But yeah, no, well played, and tough to deal with creatures. Tough to deal with creatures, that's for sure.
Yeah, so far that's been the name of the game. You really haven't had an answer to a Stormwing Entity once I've cast it.
Yeah, exactly. And like the Song of Freylies looked great, but then I just drew like Constrictor a little too late and didn't have the mana to cast it there at the end. Just had Temple Gardens, and the mana base for this deck is much worse than your deck, so it's going to be a challenge.
You're a 3-color deck that can't afford to play in Dotha Triome, which is rough.
Yeah. Agreed. All right, so that does it for the first 2 games. Now we're going to head to sideboarding and see what we got for each other. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Versus Live. All right, everybody, welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding between Abzan counters and Is It aggro. From my end, just taking out some of the creatures that are a little overpriced that still get shocked. So taking out Shiley, taking out Machias, and taking out 1-star Pupil for just Adonto Vanguard seems amazing. And honestly, if we remember back to, is it Phoenix and Standard? Those Boros decks with the Adonto Vanguard at the very last Pro Tour were the bane of that deck's existence.
I was on the Vanguard side in those matchups.
Smart. I played Carnage Tyrant and did very medium. But then we're bringing in Vanishing Verse to be able to have just an answer to Stormwing Entity. You know, I mean, that's the card that it seems like you really got to be prepared for it. Otherwise, it's just been eating you alive in Historic, you know, starting to get into Standard and Modern.
Doing it in Modern for months.
Yeah, and dominant in Modern.
Can't wait to draw the Crackling Drake this game while you're just looking at Vanishing Verse.
Oh, yeah, it sounds about right, yeah.
On my side, just bringing in all of our creature removal, Anger the Gods, Thundering Rebuke. Chandra plays really well when we're, high on removal spells. We just want some more card advantage.
Yep.
Cutting the memory lapses against such a low curve, aggressive deck. And Sprite Dragon, because I want to take a more controlling tack in the game. I don't want as many really aggressive creatures. This is not a card I want to be tapping out for in turn 2, because I got to interact early and often. Otherwise, Core's Battlefield is going to snowball out of control. And then Sprite Dragon loses a lot of value when you're not tapping out for it on turn 2.
Exactly. Checks out to me. All right, let's shovel up. So far, this has been kind of a beating.
Yeah,
kind of a beating.
Pretty lopsided. So I'm interested to see how it plays out if you just have a removal spell or two, because I think if you had one appropriately on that, especially in that second game.
Yeah, definitely got you down to 4. So it was like if I had one way to push through, and it was just Dromoka's Command didn't look good, which is unfortunate because it's the the brand new hot spice that we wanted to add. But doesn't mean it's not going to be a good card. Just maybe not the best matchup for it as well.
It's been a little awkward. Your creatures haven't been big enough, and the one that has been big enough is the one that's pro multicolor.
Yeah, pro multicolor. Yeah, that's a little awkward. But, oh well, we'll figure it out here. Hopefully we have a nice draw. We had a nice draw game 1, but it was just broken up by the shock on Pelt Collector. Which isn't that hard to do, I guess.
I do have a lot of them.
Nice.
I will keep in my hand.
Oh my god, I've been drawing like garbage. Garbage, I tell you. But to be fair, this is an aggro deck that has to play a low land count, and you get those kind of hands where, you want 2 lands, but it happens that you draw less.
This is the kind of deck that could really benefit from Once Upon a Time.
Oh my god, yeah, found me down indeed.
Yeah, and the unfortunate reality of decks like this is they also don't mulligan that well, because you need a good base of resources in order to get all the synergies together.
Exactly. Yep, that is a rough aspect.
Definitely a high variance archetype.
Okay, I think I can keep this. It is pretty medium, but we'll go with it. I think I just want to bottom this land. Yeah, we'll bottom a land, And Godless Shrine tapped. Pass to you.
Okay, I will play a Fable Passage and pass.
Okay. All right. I have a Pathway and a Winding Constrictor. I'll pass to you. What's up?
You'll see.
Soulscar Mage and a Shock?
Yep.
You suck.
That is indeed.
I was like,
what
finally, I have the Constrictor to play around a Shock, but nope.
Soulscar Mage Pillar of Flame. It gets
All right.
3 -1/-1 counters.
Yeah. All right. Go.
I'll play Riverglide Pathway, Sprite Dragon, shock that Winding Constrictor, get a counter, attack for 4.
Yeah.
You're at 16. Pass the turn. I just want to make it clear to everyone at home that Corey chose the matchups for today. Just want to make
Pass
that known.
to Conclave.
Okay.
Pass to you.
Okay, that could get awkward. I've got an opt.
Okay.
Second counter on the dragon. Don't need that land. I'll play a Soulscar Mage. I'll play the shock I just drew. I'll attack you for 7.
Yep.
And I'll play a tap Spire Bluff. 9. And my last card is Chandra.
Jesus.
Just needed hit and removal spell off the option.
Unreal. Wow. Yeah, this has been an absolute beating. Let's play one more pity game. Why not? See if I can do something here. Keep an opener would be nice, but yeah, this doesn't feel like a good matchup when you have 8 shocks.
Yeah.
8 shocks against the creatures that have to live to snowball. Yeah, this was not a good one.
In hindsight, yeah, the cheap removal deck against the synergy-driven aggro deck.
Yeah.
It's usually not good.
Not the best. Not the best. Unfortunate. Rob, you got a question at all?
I do have one about the Is It deck that kind of got brought up during that last match. So they were wondering what you thought about cutting like 1 to 2 memory lapse for 1 to 2 Finale of Promise, since Finale for 3 lets you play both Shock and Pillar of Flame. They also had a question about not really understanding the power you gain from basically cutting Phoenix for Soulscar Mage.
Well, it's about how powerful Arclight Phoenix is in a format without free spells. Like we said at the beginning of the segment, the card just isn't nearly as good. If you remember back to the modern version of the deck, you would turn 2 Phoenix, sometimes 2 of them, pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Whether you hit one with a Thought Scour, or you just had that Manamorphose, cantrip, looting draw.
Yeah.
Those kind of things happen.
Or was Thing, and then you're flipping Thing and 1 Phoenix on turn 3 or whatever.
Yeah. And obviously Thing in the Ice was a big part of the deck. And I when I was playing it a lot, that's what I was telling people. Everybody thinks it's Is It Phoenix. To me, it was really Is It Thing.
Yeah.
And Thing in the Ice was such a huge part of it. So the reality is that Arclight Phoenix is just not that powerful of a card.
Yeah, it really isn't.
It is good. It's not like the card is bad, and the Phoenix decks have been succeeding, but Soulscar Mage is a pretty powerful card. This is one that plays well with all your cheap spells. We see it in the prowess decks, but the one thing it does do pretty well is it lets your red removal spells contain bigger creatures.
Yeah. It makes combat rough for you're attacking with a Soulscar Mage into a Yasharn profitably with a shock. That right there is pretty sweet,
Yeah, and think about the way this deck would match up against Selesnya Company. Cards like Lovestruck Beast could be really problematic.
Yeah.
Just those big green creatures that they have, being able to shrink them and contain them on the battlefield is super helpful. Lets you then, get in the air, race them in the air, or, contain them with a storming entity that you hold back. It stops them from playing Great Henge very early.
Yep.
There's a lot of benefits to being able to control their battlefield with that second ability on Soulscar Mage. So really, despite the pedigree that Arclight Phoenix might have, and I think it reads a lot more powerfully, the two are a lot closer than you might think.
Yeah, and to be fair, it is one of the weaker cards in the deck, but still, it's still a good role player, and I think having a 1-drop is very important in a lot of matchups where you need to hustle out, maybe against the pack decks and stuff like that. So can really add, in the first 3 turns a solid 6 damage or something. Pretty relatively easy.
What was the first part of that question, Rob? I know we went in on the second part.
I was about cutting 1 or 2 memory lapse for 1 or 2 Finale of Promise, given that it allows you to replay both of your shocks, and one's instant, one's sorcery.
Finale is definitely a card I like. That would be something I'd have to play a bit with the deck with to be really definitive on, because Finale is a very specific card. It's not very good early. It's very good late. So is that the card I'm looking at? Is that the weakness of my deck? Do I need help in the late game? Do I need help grinding? When I look at the way the metagame looks right now, I see some really heavy hitters that Memory Lapse can help against, even though it's a card that fits really awkwardly in the deck. You really need to Memory Lapse that Corvold. You need to Memory Lapse that Thassa's Oracle out of the Pact deck. So I think it's more of a metagame consideration why they're using those flex spots to play some disruption for the opponent that doesn't play well with the deck's main strategy, as opposed to a card like Finale that does. And that's what you got to do with the last 2 cards in your deck. You build your deck initially to be really linear, and then you find where the holes that exist in the deck in the metagame, and you tune to fill those holes. And that's what Memory Lapse, I think, is doing.
Yeah, I think Memory Lapse is much better. And like Finale, it'd be pretty cool if like on turn 5, you Finale for 2, get like Shocked, Expressive Iteration, play the land off of it. But like you have to wait for turn 5 with Expressive Iteration, otherwise you are going to be burning a spell. So it's already just an opt on its own. So like something like that is cool, but that's saying that the format is really grindy and you want some of these spells that, draws you a bunch of cards. And I don't think the format is that way right now. So I like Memory Lapse quite a bit in that deck, to be honest, because I think it's the best 2-drop. And then the best 3-drop is either 1-drop Stormwind Entity or Expressive Iteration. Something, so I think you really want a 2-drop in the deck, and it's either Sprite Dragon or Memory Lapse. So I like.
In this case, we're playing both, but
no, I'm saying, but that's your option on turn 2. You want to have some options on turn 2, not just you want to have some redundancy in the exactly. Yeah.
If the format turned to a lot of mirror matches, I think the mirror is going to be very grindy. So you're going to want to have cards like Finale of Promise. If it turns to a lot of control decks, that would make sense. So Memory Lapse is fine there as well. But like Corey said, the metagame just isn't that grindy. People are building towards really powerful end games. Just killing you.
Agreed. I have great news. I have an opening hand I can keep.
I can keep mine as well.
All right. I will take 2 and play Pellet Collector. Pass to you.
Okay. So you're at 18.
An opener I can keep. I'm hyped.
I will play Spiral Gal and pass.
Okay, of course you're gonna have a shock. You're not gonna give me anything free here. All right, I'll take 2. I got a Winding Constrictor.
I'll shock the Pellet Collector.
Yep, pass to you.
So you're at 16.
Okay.
I'll play an Island and Thundering Rebuke the Constrictor.
God, you're such a jerk.
Pass the turn.
God, it's just unreal.
Corey's just not going to want to play the 3rd match, Ross.
I know, yeah. Can I just go home?
I do think you're favored in the 3rd match, for what it's worth.
I doubt it.
Also, I'm kind of breaking the curse. The Jazz lost last night.
Yeah, I know. You almost always lose when the Jazz lose.
Yeah. But they showed some good heart in the end.
There we go. I'm just going to buy Luris and I'll pass to you.
Luris, but what am I going to kill now?
I know. That's what I'm thinking. I might as well wait till I can double spell to get some value going.
Well, the good news is I was out of removal and now I just get to play threats.
Of course.
I think I'll opt into this iteration for next turn. That looks good. And I've got 2 1-drops. We got a Soul Scar and the one Terramander.
Of course. Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right.
I was a little worried about this hand flooding. I'm less worried now. This card is really good.
It's super good. I've been so impressed with that. I'm going to take 2.
You're 14. Why do you keep taking so much damage from your lands?
I know. It's not a great time. It's not a great time indeed.
All my lands enter untapped. They don't deal me any damage. I can cast all my spells.
Yeah. Rub it in.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I'm going to play these 2, and I'm going to put 2 counters here, and I'll pass to you.
That's scary. I only have 1 more Thundering Rebuke to deal with a 4/4. Couldn't possibly draw that this turn.
Yeah, of course you will.
Play iteration.
Yep.
That's interesting. So let's put the Lightning Strike here, put that one there. I will play a Lava Guide Pathway.
Okay.
Now I can pretty freely attack because the Soul Scar's already a 2/3. This would be a 3/4. It would shrink to a 1/1 and a 1/1.
Yeah, so, can't block.
So no blocks?
No blocks.
Okay, and I just have to lightning strike. Yeah, the Conclave Mentor is worded differently than Winding Constrictor, so...
yeah, you can't kill it with this, yeah.
So I could just kill the Mentor, but I think just dealing with getting the Aspirin off the battlefield is more important. So we'll do the Aspirin, and you'll take 4.
Take it.
Brings you to 10.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
All right. Own tip. Tilt. Tilt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Terramander can already get up there. Card is incredible.
There's only one on the deck, but each time I've drawn it, it's looked great.
Yeah, it really has.
Definitely Corey's in need of a removal spell for this turn.
Spell of the removal variety?
But now your Dramoka's commands look pretty good.
Yeah.
It would be really nice if Corey had 2 of them here. He just kills both my creatures and attacks me for 8. Doesn't seem like he has that, though.
I do not have that, believe it or not.
If I were you, that's what I'd have.
I know, because you're so lucky. So damn lucky. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. And I think it is just... cast Winding Constrictor. Attack for 4.
That'll put me to 16.
And pass to you.
Holding up a Dramoka's command.
Maybe.
Draw.
Yep.
Now we're in a tough spot.
Yeah, I was playing that deck quite a bit on the ladder as well, and just having great results with it. I think it's just a very powerful deck. It reminds me just, of the modern deck, Yeah, not quite as powerful, of course. Lava Darts and Monastery Mentor are
foes.
Yeah, of course. There's definitely hits, but it resembles it, Yeah. It definitely resembles it. Expressive Iteration has just proven to be one of the most incredible cards of the set, in my opinion.
Well, if it's so incredible, I might as well cast it.
Yeah, good call.
Good.
Yeah.
Not great, let me tell you. This Anger of the Gods can go on the bottom.
Yeah.
I'll put a land in exile.
Okay.
I'll play this Sulphur Falls.
Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can't double adapt at least. Got that going for me.
I will attack with both my creatures.
So that's already a 2/3. All right, no blocks.
Yeah, take 3.
Okay.
Brings you to 7.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
All right. Vanishing Verse. Just making sure there was no Stormwing entity.
Vanishing Verse.
Yep.
That's annoying. Okay, I will take this opportunity to shock the Winding Constrictor down, which works now that I have Soulscar Mage.
Okay.
And yep.
All on tip. All a draw.
Got a little punished there.
Oh boy. Well, let's go with attack for 4.
I'll go to 12.
And I don't want to take more damage with my land, so I'm just going to go like this and play a Luris.
Yeah, I knew about that one.
And Pellet Collector. Pass to you.
Oh. Give me a 12.
Got you 12. Yep, 12-7. Yeah, I could have taken 2, try to bring a Luminarch Aspirant back, and that would have been the better play, but didn't want to risk it.
So next turn, if you play a Winding Constrictor with the Luris, Pellet Collector will get 3 counters. So then you'll have 4, 8, 11. That's not 12.
That's not 12.
So you need something else to present lethal. So I think I've got to go for a Sprite Dragon here.
Okay.
Wish I'd played it last turn, but I thought I was going to get Dromoka's Commanded.
Yep, fair.
I've got another Expressive Iteration.
Makes sense.
Okay. That will play for sure. So let's play Fable Passage into Exile. This can go there. Then I'll take that one.
Okay.
Then I will play Brainstorm, counter on Sprite Dragon.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna just... Oh no, that'll be...
I'm scared.
When I kill Luris with a burn spell, it's going to die as a 3-2 still, right? Because it dies...
No, it's negative counters. It wouldn't get triggers. Yeah, because it dies...
Oh, that's with the... Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a different interaction.
No. Yeah.
I was thinking of the Kitchen Finks interaction when it has +1/+1 counters and -1. Like, if Kitchen Finks has +1/+1 counters on it, there's a weird interaction I'm thinking of, but it's not this one.
Yeah, no, if you shock this, I do not get any counters, which is...
I found the shock. I'm just trying to figure out...
Of course you found it.
We're definitely putting this land back. And like, what am I scared of? Do I just keep another cantrip, another removal spell, or another threat? I have all the options. And you're going to be so you're just going to have to chump block with the Pellet Collector.
Yeah, I just can't beat a shock, so if you have it,
yeah.
This game.
I'm just going to put the other removal spell back.
Yeah.
I'm going to...
No, I can't beat a shock.
Pillar that.
Yeah.
Attack you, and then my hand is going to be Opstorming it.
Yeah. Well, that was not a good matchup. Not a good matchup, and dang, that is a deck just looks awesome. It just looks so good.
Yeah, any sort of cheap creature deck, I think you're going to be in really good shape.
Yeah.
In matchups where those 8 shocks are not good,
yeah,
it's going to be a little dicier, but you do still have game.
Yeah, I mean they just go to the face, you know, right? And you just you try to kill them that way, and then go with a bunch of counter spells on the board.
So Saheeli is a nice one. I would actually want more Saheelis and fewer Narsets on my sideboard, to be honest.
Yeah, Narset was not great. I think that is the one card I cut immediately.
Yeah. It seems like Narset might be good in like the mirror, but everybody has lightning strikes and stuff, so it doesn't even seem great there.
It's not good against Sprite Dragons. I didn't think it was good at all.
Whereas Saheeli, you can copy and get more prowess threats. You can turn, a token into a storming entity and kill them out of nowhere. You can turn a token into a
crackling drag.
A Sprite Dragon and get counters on it that last even when the copy effect goes off.
You just have a servo with 4 counters on it or whatever.
Can copy Terramander and adapt in the same way. So there's a lot of synergy with the -2 ability in this deck.
Yeah.
And so I really like Saheeli, and I like having this kind of sticky threat that actually does generate pressure against control as opposed to just card advantage.
Yeah, and just really tough to deal with. I mean, not too many cards actually just deal with the Planeswalker. Like if you're playing the Sultai Ultimatum deck, you can like eliminate it or something like that. But pretty tough.
And then we just
that
can't say enough
insane.
about it.
That card's insane. Like I think it's going to make its mark on standard. It's just unbelievable.
Every time I cast it in this match, it was ridiculous.
You just didn't even have to put in this match. It's just anytime you cast that card. I've been playing a decent amount of it in Historic and stuff too. It's the real deal.
Yeah,
it's the real deal. It's just 2-mana divination most of the time, but better because you have card selection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just better than divination, and divination is already pretty good. You know, it reminds me of like the power of one mind, but no creature constraint. You know, like that's about how it feels. If that card didn't have creature constraints, you know, like it'd be about that power level, which is unreal. So, all right, well, I got absolutely slapped up in that match. Get me out of this match, Rob, because we got a third match coming.
Get out your brooms.
Yeah, I gotta just try not to get swept at this point. So we're gonna take a 5-minute break, and we'll be right back with the third and final round here on Versus Live. Don't go anywhere.
Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Marion.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. It is another day looking at Historic, this time going a little bit deeper.
A little deeper.
We've played a good amount of Historic recently, so now we get to explore some of the more fun decks in the format. And we're finishing with something we don't do often here on Versus Live, but one I rather enjoy. This is a control mirror.
Yeah, they're fun.
You know, I don't play a lot of control decks in my normal play, but I do enjoy playing control mirrors. It's a lot about patience. The games are going to go long, so I think we're just going to get right into it.
Yeah.
You know, Corey's Demir, I'm Jeskai. They're pretty similar. We got a bunch of removal spells, some card draws, some planeswalkers.
You know the gist. We're just going to see who draws more Fatal Pushes or Wrath of Gods, you know, the dead cards for game one, and then post-board, it usually gets pretty even.
A competition about who can draw better. I accept your turn.
All right, we might as well just call the show now. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right.
Another key in control mirrors is making your land drops.
So my one lander is not good. Relying on that brainstorm quite heavily there. Actually, would have kind of been paid off. That wouldn't have been so bad. It was a land, a fabled passage, but still, it's too risky. If I miss on that brainstorm, the game is over.
I will keep my hand.
Okay, shocking.
I don't plan on doing a lot of shocking, actually. Just looking at my lands.
To be fair, mulliganing in these control mirrors, not the absolute worst, because I usually have a Fatal Push I can put to the bottom.
Yeah. The games also go really long. So, you know, if the game goes 20 turns, having 26 cards to your opponent's 27.
I'll keep and put this Fatal Push to the bottom. And I got this, and I'll pass to you.
Okay, I will play a tapped Steam Vents.
All right. Ooh, that was probably a pretty solid draw. I'll play a Search for Ascanta. Good game. Pass to you.
Okay, then. I'll play an island and pass to you.
All right, Search. I think I can keep that. I'll play this and pass to you.
I will play a tapped Hollow Fountain and pass to you.
End step, I will Brainstorm.
Sure.
I'll draw 3. Let's put this here, then this.
Corey gets to be a little more aggressive with his brainstorms with this search.
Yeah, oops. I will put it this way. And untap. I will put this into my graveyard. I got a Field of Ruin, and I'll pass to you.
I will shock to 18.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
Shock to 18, huh? Could try to just save this field for like Castle Ardenvale or something, but I also want to kind of fill up my graveyard, but it doesn't seem right. Upkeep. I'll bin this, draw. I'll play this and pass to you.
On your end step, I will Lightning Helix you.
Helix me? Okay.
Brings you to 20, or brings you to 17, me to 21.
Correct.
Go to my turn.
Yep.
Wanted to get a card out of my hand so I could safely Expressive Iteration.
Oh, you got that card too? This is not cool. Let's see. I will memory lapse that.
That's fine. I'll play a tap Steam Vents and pass the turn.
All right. End step, I'll Field of Ruin, Hallowed Fountain. trying to shuffle away that iteration.
I'll brainstorm in response.
Okay.
And
I'm going to search for my land while you do your thing. Yeah, now the field kind of helps you out a little bit, so that backfired a little bit.
just a tad.
Just a tad bit.
Is there any reason for me to not get an island? Maybe I could get cut off of white mana? Well, I could just get the plains then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll get an island.
All right, end step, I'll brainstorm.
Sure. And now we're going to transform.
Yep. Put this back. Upkeep. I will bend that. Transform. Draw. And now the person with the Escanta usually doesn't have to do the blinking, as they say, so I'll pass to you.
I will play Expressive Iteration.
That resolves.
I will play Expressive Iteration.
Okay. Yeah, that resolves.
I will play this Glacial Fortress.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
How many cards you got? 1 million?
I got 7.
All right. End step, activate his counter.
Yep.
Got 2 good hits.
Only 4 cards in your hand. Fish.
I'll go with a brainstorm. Also at end step, I will cling to dust, expressive iteration. Draw. Then I will end step brainstorm.
It's 3 out of 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Brainstorm and
here. Draw. I'll correct this. Shuffle away that removal spell I didn't want. And now just a question of, do I want to try to play anything or just, once again, play defensive? I think defensive is the way to do it. I'll pass to you.
And when I am the person who does not have the Azcanta,
You have to do things.
yeah, it's good for me to make you tap out for other things.
Exactly, yep.
So I will play a Teferi.
Okay. I'm going to not let that resolve. I'm going to try at least. Let's go with a memory lapse.
A memory lapse.
Yep.
Says.
Suppose I'll tap this a little better.
Sure.
Okay.
I will play my own Search for Azcanta.
Don't really want that to happen. Might not have the biggest choice though. I guess I can activate his Canta first. Interesting. Yeah, I'll take memory lapse and then memory lapse it.
Pass the turn.
All right. Draw. Take 2.
You go to 15.
Yep. And then I will field away a steam vent. Shuffle those cards. All right, and then I'll pass to you. Memory lapses with all these fields. Pretty nice at being able to kind of turn them into hard counters.
Yeah, that was a good one. Okay, I'll play Teferi.
I'll drown in the lot.
Oh, memory lapse, you're drown.
I'll commit memory lapse.
Is that second from the top? Or
Second from the top, yep.
that one's right here. Teferi countered.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
All right. Okay, I will cast a Jace.
Sure.
And I can mill your memory lapse, but I don't really care about that right now. So I'll mill myself.
Sure.
Top 2, draw. Play a land. And pass to you.
Okay. I have a Narset.
Narsetorino, huh?
Got another counter spell. I guess we can dig for
Want
one.
to find out. I got this. Activate as Canta.
Yep.
I will get Fatal Push, and that resolves.
Minus the Narset.
Okay.
And I know there's a memory lapse there.
Yep.
And then I've got a Hallowed Fountain tapped, and I'll pass the turn.
Okay. Draw. I'm going to start by Escanting. Some decent hits. I'll take a Shark. And I'll tick up milling you. I won't be able to draw a card. And I'll pass to you.
Minus the Narset?
Yep.
You have 4 in hand?
4 in hand.
Take Expressive Iteration.
Okay.
I will cast it.
Resolves.
I will exile the passage.
Okay.
Play it. Play Search for Escanta.
Yep, that resolves.
And then I will pass the turn.
We'll make a 4/4 Shark.
Yep. Appropriately sized outside
Yeah.
of lightning health range.
Untap. Draw. All right, attack Narset. I will target myself. Mill, draw. I will take 2.
Brings you to 13.
And pass to you.
On your end step, crack Fatal Passage.
Okay. Man, I do love control mirrors. They're fun.
Didn't realize I'd milled the planes.
Nice, nice. Gotcha.
That is incredibly annoying.
That was your last basic?
Yeah.
Love it, love it.
Would have played that a little differently if I was paying attention.
Yeah, that's control mirrors sometimes. You sometimes got to fight the clock as well in real life tournaments, you know? So I know you have Memory Lapse as the only card?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I will cycle a Roger and Triome in your end step.
Okay.
Go to my turn.
Yep.
Upkeep.
Mm-hmm.
I will leave that on top.
The transform.
Draw.
Yep.
Play Day of Judgment.
Thy Day of Judgment. I'll respond. Then activation.
Sure.
Take a Sharky Shark. That resolves.
And I'll pass the turn.
All right, we'll upgrade it to a 5/5 Shark.
Yep.
Cashing in for next year's model.
Yeah. Shark 2.0. Draw. Let's see my basic count. 3 and 4. Got 3. Looks like we might have one more island in the deck. Cool, cool. All right, we'll crack this. Gonna mill myself.
Yep.
Draw. Oh, that was stupid. All right, I will go with a Narset.
Memory is an instant, right?
It's a sorcery.
It's sorcery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you saw that, huh?
Weird. Your Narset will resolve.
All right. I will activate. Take a Snotsies. Snotsies you.
Ooh. You got 5 in hand?
6.
6.
Yep.
Not sure how I win this game. But I will respond by lightning helixing the Narset.
That's pretty solid. I don't think I'm supposed to care about that too much. So, yep, you got it?
I'll go to 24.
Yep. I'll take your Narset.
You lose 2, go to 11.
Yep, I'll attack for 5.
I go to 19.
And I will pass to you.
14 cards in your library. Not quite enough to get there. I'll play Wrath of God.
Sure.
Pass turn.
All right. End step. I will Escanta.
Yep. I'm at 19. Not that that's relevant.
I'll take a shark. End step. I'm going to do a nice little play. If I were to memory, I can cling away all my land I don't want.
Certainly don't want any Fable passages.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, so I'll cling just one of your spells.
Let's say it's very
Sure. Untap.
Yep.
A little short. I'll play Field of Ruin, which I played my land before I had that last time, so that was a bit of a tilt, but still quite good. Then I'll Field Escanta.
I know you have a Narset in hand, right?
No, you know I have a
Oh,
shark.
no, you took the shark.
Yep.
You have 3, 6, 10 mana available. Yeah, I'm just done.
Yeah.
Now, the earliest can't do is just a backbreaker.
Yeah, the earliest Escanta generated so much cards, and just me having Field of Ruins for your Escantas is pretty damn good.
Yeah, that is
Pretty damn good.
That might be a mirror breaker.
Yeah, so I think that game was worth all the points. It doesn't matter what happened in the rest of the show. It's just, that's just it.
With all our dead cards in this matchup, the removal of the main, we're actually going to get to sideboarding after game 1. So we're going to take a quick break here and then come back and finish out this match between Jeskai Control and Dimir Control. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to a Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Jeskai Control and Dimir Control. Pretty straightforward on both sides. We're cutting a bunch of removal. We're bringing in a bunch of counter spells. We've both got our 4 Shark type boots that got to get in there. And we've got an extra copy of Narset of Thoughtseize. But
yeah, the exact same kind of thing. You want your removal out in a matchup where your removal is not good. I have a little bit of tension where I want to leave maybe some fatal pushes if your sharks get out of hand. I'm leaving in the 1 eliminate as an answer, and then I have commit plus drawn in the law. So I think that's enough. But, there's some consideration for me to want to leave in Fatal Push over maybe one of my hand disruption spells, because your deck is pretty redundant as well. But being able to Inquisition even a Dovin's Veto is awesome, because Dovin's Veto is the one counter spell that is insane in control mirrors.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much mana you have and how many counter spells back. Dovin's Veto says no.
It's going to work. Yep, exactly. We don't have Veil here to be able to stop Dovin's Veto or anything like that. So,
and I decided to leave in Lightning Helixes because I had space. I had to leave in something in order to answer Narset effectively. So it's hard for you to get card advantage out of the Narset unless you want to expose it.
And you got Prismari Command to effectively stop the Narset. Essentially, I mean, you can deal 2 to it so I don't get another activation, but then you do still have to kind of answer it at some point.
I cut the command. We're just on 3 Helix.
Yeah, that card's just not great. I mean, it's good in the version where you're gear hulking back Magma Opuses and stuff like that, but
where the make a treasure mode is a lot more relevant.
Exactly, and where the discard is relevant. Discarding something big.
And there is still Teferi here, so sometimes you can ramp into Teferi with it, but not that relevant to the other modes.
Not great. Okay, Rob, you got a question at all?
I do. So for this Jeskai deck, what do you think about this deck versus the Magma Opus deck that you've mentioned a few times?
I would prefer to be the leaner deck in a control mirror, just the more cheap spells, so I'm more likely to win counter wars.
Yeah.
I think if you ever resolved, Gear Hulk on Magma Opus, you would be laughably far ahead, but the chances of that against a reasonable draw and a tight opponent are very low.
Definitely in this matchup. I think in the grand scheme of things, I bet the Gear Hulk version's better against like Jund or other creature decks where you can do those big effects where they can't disrupt it. But, against Pact, against, control decks, basically against everything but like Company and Jund, I would rather have the lean version as well.
And now it's my turn to have the one lander, so I will send it back.
But it's always also my turn. So close. That is a tempting one-lander. Damn it. That would have been a good old Corey keep right there. We'll ship those. I had the search for Azcanta, and my search for Azcantas are a lot better than yours.
Also, something that we haven't really had many questions about today is the Modern Horizons previews we saw the other week. And given that this is a control mirror, what do you two think about Counterspell now becoming legal in Modern soon?
Yeah, I mean, I think Counterspell is great, and it's going to replace Mana Leak in some decks that can afford to do it, but I think people overhype Counterspell. You know, I think it's a good card, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's going to completely warp the metagame. It's going to warp the metagame for the first 2 weeks because everyone's going to try it. So get your Caverns of Souls ready for week 1 when it comes on Magic Online. But I don't know. What do you think?
I am 100% in agreement. That's actually what I wrote my article about this week.
Oh, really?
Exactly that topic. Why Counterspell is being overhyped in Modern.
Oh, yeah. So. I saw that in the Slacks, and you said, sorry, Shaheen. Yes. My bad, man.
So if you want to read my long-form thoughts about exactly why, that article should be up now.
Sweet.
On StarCityGames.com.
On StarCityGames.com. Nice plug.
I will be keeping this hand.
Me too. I'll be putting this to the bottom.
I will lead on a Steam Vents.
Okay.
Thought you were going to start singing a song there for a second.
I will lead on Island and pass to you.
I guess. So now it is my turn to draw the Azcanta for turn 2.
Wow. Get wrecked and then get wrecked. How about that? Your go.
Well then, I'm dead.
Oh, how the turntables.
Oh, how the turntables, baby.
I'll play Roger and try.
So all we needed for me to actually win some matches is just to have a skill matchup. Oh, okay, I get it. All right, I do not want this. Yeah, no, we're gonna bin this, draw.
Okay, you have 2 search for
Ross, if you slip me a 20, I can get you a wear tear.
yeah, nice.
So you're at 18?
Rob out here hustling versus live. Yeah, I'm going to go for a Narset.
Aldovran's Veto.
Okay, pass to you.
Which I did not have on turn 2.
Fair enough.
Okay, I'll Expressive Iteration.
Okay.
This one goes to the hand, this one goes to the bottom, and this one goes to exile briefly before I play it as my land for turn.
So briefly.
Pass the turn.
All right. I'll check this out. I'll keep this one, and I'll play my land, and I'll pass to you.
I don't like the card on the bottom, so there's no point in thinning. I guess it's still just a land.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people don't think about that. Thinning is valid, but if you know a card's on the bottom that you don't want to draw, that's a cost.
Yeah, play Castle Hard and Veil and Pass.
Uh-oh.
We've got a plan.
I got to brainstorm?
Sure.
All right.
Shaheen going to come in clutch.
Interesting.
Is it though? Is it though?
No, it's Jessica.
Feels kind of bad, but I think I have a plan as well. And that is,
to lose.
To lose, indeed.
Badly.
I'm going to put these back. I'm going to sack this.
Discard my hand with this one with nothing.
Yeah.
That way you can transform the search for Azcanta. It gets a card advantage.
Now you got it. And then at end step, I'm going to cycle this Shark Typhoon for one.
1/1. Now we can transform the Azcanta.
I've been turboing out these Azcantas. Holy cow. Okay. Untap. I will be more than likely putting this into the graveyard. That's actually one I kind of wanted, but this already nets me a land. And I don't need to scry when I have Azcanta, that's for sure. And then I will pass to you.
Yeah, and step, I'll crack the passage.
Okay.
Now, I'll make a 1/1 with the castle.
You got it. Shaheen, you've turned on me.
Sulfur Falls, get in for 1.
I will block.
Pass the turn.
I will Azcanta. And I'm pretty content to take this Brainstorm. And I'll Brainstorm.
Yep.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. Don't think my game is going to be about this, so I'm going to go like this. Draw. I'll play a land and pass to you.
I will make a 1/1.
Okay. This man's got a plan.
And with a plan, in a van, down by the river. Attack for 1.
I'll take it. 17.
You've got how many cards in hand?
I have 5.
I'll play it to Fairy.
Fairy, eh? I have a negate.
I will memory lapse your negate.
That's fine, and then I'll Sod Coming this.
Pass the turn.
Still know what's on top. Pass to you.
Attack for 1.
I'll take it. 16.
Play Sulfur Falls and pass.
All right. I will activate.
Yep.
I knew it was on top, so I was at least going to hit, and thank God, because that was 3 other lands. And I'll untap. Okay.
Now you have negate Jace in hand.
Negate
Three
Jace.
others.
Yep. I will. Pass to you.
End step, I will cycle and make a 6/6 shark.
6/6 shark, eh? Okay, still at end step, I'll kill that.
Okay, draw off the cycle.
Yep.
Attack for 1.
I will take it. 15.
And pass the turn.
Activate Azcanta. Yep. I'll take this Eliminate. 1 tap. Eliminate just in case we get another shark. That could be quite scary. I will play an Arset.
That resolves.
Activate.
I will respond to the activation with a Helix on.
Okay, you're at 23.
And it's fine.
I'll take a Cling. And I'll pass to you.
End step, make a 1/1.
Yep.
Attack for 2.
13.
Play an island and pass the turn.
All right, I will crack this. Activate.
Yep.
All right, I got a memory lapse. Untap, draw.
You got 8 in hand right now?
All of the cards, yep. Okay, let's go with Jace.
I'll respond by cycling Ragran Triumph.
Okay.
Jace resolves.
I'll target myself.
Yep.
Mill, draw. Take 2.
Go to 11.
Pass to you.
End step, make a 1/1.
Yep.
Attack you for 3.
All right. I am down to 8.
Yep. Play this land.
Okay.
Foretell a card.
Could be anything.
Pass the turn.
End step. I'm going to make a 2/2 shark.
Yep.
Draw. Untap. I got to assume it's a saw it coming. I wouldn't think you would play all runs or anything. I'll target myself. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I will cast Inquisition targeting you.
Have it to fairy.
Dang it. Okay, I'll pass to you.
End step, make a Shaheen.
Yep.
Attack you.
I'll block.
Yep.
Before damage, I will commit a Shaheen. Let's get real. Shaheen needs to be committed.
I buy that.
6.
You're at 6.
Yep.
Play Fable Passage and pass the turn.
Okay. And step will activate his count up. First miss. On tap. Draw. I will target myself. Don't want those. And I'll pass to you.
End step, I will
Yep.
Shaheen.
You got it.
Upkeep, I'm going to crack this passage.
Okay.
Only have the one basic left. Would hate to draw it. It was the top card of my deck, thank God.
That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome.
You have 7 in hand?
I do.
Attack you.
I will block before damage. I'll eliminate.
Take 1.
Yep, down to 5. I'm kind of bummed there's no creatures in anywhere, so I can never cling to gain life. Yeah, sorry, you know about this too.
20 cards in your library.
Okay.
For a 17.
I still have Field of Ruin in this deck, right?
Okay, I'll foretell a card.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Alright. And step. Is can't I'll take Field of Ruin. I'll take Brainstorm. I will cling your Helix, just in case we memory stuff back. Then I will Cast Brainstorm?
Yep.
Gross. Alright. Draw. Mill myself. Move to end step.
Make a token.
Okay. Discard.
I will play a Narset.
I will memory lapse.
You're 5 right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I will attack you for 2.
I will... make a 3/3 shark.
Yep.
I will block both.
Pass the turn.
Alright, I will activate his counter. A memory lapse. On tap. What do we got in there?
11.
11. Okay. I will draw. I want you to have another set. Alright, I will field castle.
I'll make a 1/1 in response.
Okay. I do not have a basic. Oh, I do. Sweet. Oh. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will 7 past you.
I'll shock, go to 21.
Okay. I'll show you 5 counterspells. I don't know how much you saw it coming. You're not going to see that all coming.
Oh, I saw it coming.
Okay.
Yeah, just early Ascanta both games. There's not much you can do.
Yeah, dispute the Ascanta into Ascanta. And I mean, honestly, if I didn't have the dispute, I didn't find a field until just now.
Yeah.
You know, so I was quite far away, but you know, the game plan looked decent for Castle. I don't think you had any other like great plan that you could have done. And it almost got me because I couldn't find one, but an early 2/2 shark, like that prevented probably like 6 damage from eating a human each time.
Probably prevented 12.
Probably, yeah. It really did.
Because it prevents triangular numbers. So the first time it blocks, it prevents 1, and then 3, and then 6, and then
exactly.
10.
Yeah. Either way, I love me some control matches. I hope y'all enjoyed it a little bit too. I know this is not everybody's favorite style of Magic. That's why we don't do it too often, believe it or not. But you know what? I love a good control mirror match.
Yeah.
We just don't see them that often anymore because control just usually is a little invalidated by how many cards have card advantage, inevitability stuff from like Cat Oven, so you don't see a ton of control decks around. But Historic, with the Mystical Archive, has kind of brought it back, giving it some new life.
Yeah. And, unfortunately, we didn't get to see at least one game that was really more cat and mousey, trying to, find a spot to resolve key spells. It was all sort of determined on turn 2.
Yeah.
And that's because of the way the Jeskai deck is built. I didn't have Field of Ruin because I'm 3 colors. You did, and that broke parity. If I had had Field of Ruin to deal with Ascanta, the games could have changed monumentally.
For sure. And even, honestly, another thing that we didn't get to see from my end, because I had Ascanta active from like turn 5 on both games, was just clean. I had so much fuel for Kling.
Oh, yeah.
I could have been eating you alive with that too if I didn't have Iskanta, but Iskanta is always better to be doing. You know?
Yeah, because Iskanta is a renewable resource, whereas Kling isn't. You know, you don't get extra cards in your graveyard every turn.
100%. Well, at least I prevented the sweep, even though I feel like I lost so many games for match 2 that I think you still get an honorary broom for today. So Ross still maintains the marbles, and a pretty fun show. You know, we kind of had some blowouts in 2 and 3, but you know, our first match was close. Kind of a blowout too, but you know,
it's the way it goes when you don't play a ton of, like, you know, when you're playing 12 games, sometimes
but overall, some pretty fun stuff. Any big takeaways?
I think the Death Shadow deck should get revisited.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Phoenixless Phoenix deck looks really, really strong.
Expressive Iteration is good. Play it.
those are my takeaways. I liked my first 2 decks quite a bit.
Yeah, I like those a lot too. I actually really I liked Pact, and I think it wasn't the best matchup. You know, you play against Jund or something, that's probably what you want.
Yeah, and even aggro decks, you got plenty of good removal. Yeah, like sweepers.
Celestia Company or something's pretty cool. I hated the Abzan deck, and we've tried that kind of stuff before. It always kind of feels like that. Whenever there's good removal from your opponent's side, and that's pretty much every matchup, you know, except like, you know, Celestia Company. I bet I'd have a good matchup against that. Yeah. Because they just don't have that early removal. But otherwise, if you can answer those threats on a 1-for-1 basis, it looks pretty bad. And, you know, there's still Bone Crusher from Gruul to deal with, like Pelt Collector and stuff. There's just a lot of ways to deal small creatures, but
there are definitely decks that don't play a ton of them. I think we ran that into a pretty poor matchup. But even if you played against something like, you know, the Pact decks, they have 1 Fatal Push in their deck when it comes to 1-mana removal spells. They do have the sweepers, but they really need them. And now that you have Dromoka's Command, you have an answer to Anger of the Gods and Storm's Wrath.
Yeah.
I think that deck preyed on certain matchups, and we happen to show it in its worst light. It is still a linear aggro deck. You know,
still bad against Wrath of God decks though too. Yeah, you know, Wrath of God destroys that deck.
You got to pick your spots with it. You know, with a deck like that, if the metagame is, you know, ripe for it, if people aren't playing a lot of sweepers, a lot of cheap removal, then you can play a deck like that and crush. If they are, then you got to stay away.
Yeah. So I didn't love that deck out of all of them. I loved Expressive Iteration. I still like the Pact deck. It looked cool and it looked powerful. And honestly, I like Dimir. You know, I mean, this is a weird matchup where it's going to play out way differently, but the cards seem powerful. You still get Fatal Push, which is the best card. You get some hand disruption for the control matchups. It can be very flexible. I bet it has a good matchup against rogues with all the escape cards. I thought it was just pretty cool. I might want to try this out a little later.
I also really like the Jace Wielder of Mysteries in that deck. You can mill yourself to fuel escape. You can mill your opponent to fuel Drown on the Lock.
Yeah.
You know, you need that little bit of extra card advantage because you don't have access to Teferi.
Yeah.
I like having the clean 2-color mana base. So you get to play Field of Ruin, which is, you know, because all those castles and creature lands are really annoying for a control deck to deal with. So Field is a super important tool to have.
Yep.
But doesn't get utilized well in a 3-color deck. So yeah, the Dimir deck looked good.
It looked awesome, but once again, I imagine playing it against something that has really sticky threats and renewable resources with like Trail of Crumbs, I bet it would very much struggle against Jund.
Yeah, probably need a lot of Ether Gusts to have a shot there.
Yeah, more than likely. So, all right, everyone, pretty fun show. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to thank some subs. We're going to thank some sponsors, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to do Thursday, and then we're going to head out.
All right, we got a few subs today. Hey, I said it right.
A few sponsors over there, right?
Ragnar Forge for 15 months. Histeus for 22 months. Woo. Sparrow for 30 months. Lionhearted 711. And Elf X Iblo. So thank you to all of our subs.
Hey, we take 5. Let's go. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you very much. And if you would like to support Star City Games in another way, you can join SCG Premium. $7.99 a month will get you access to exclusive content from our wonderful staff of content creators, as well as some other perks, which are 5% off of sealed product, 10% off of singles, and 15% off of supplies. So head on over to starcitygames.com/join-premium and sign up today.
And if you're playing Magic against your annoying cousin or Ross Merriam, for instance, and they keep drawing those one-mana removal spells for your creatures, at least you want to be sitting in a comfy chair while you tilt off. Wouldn't you agree?
I was the annoying cousin in my family because I was younger than all the other cousins.
Are you gasping as well over there? I'm gasping.
I'll pretend to be shocked.
Yeah, shocked. If you want to sit in a really, really comfy chair that we sit in every Tuesday and Thursday, you can by going to carnox.com/SCG. You can use that affiliate link to get yourself 10% off one of these awesome gaming chairs.
Yes. Next order of business is selling your cards, because SCG is always buying, and the process has never been easier because there's so many ways to do it. You can use the buy list feature on the website. You can mail your cards in and let SCG do the grading work for you. You can make an appointment and come into the store to do that. And if your collection is big enough, you can make an appointment and have SCG come to you. And always keep in mind that you do get a 30% bonus when trading in your cards for store credit.
Got to trade in those cards. Get ready for Modern Horizons 2, let me tell you.
Modern Horizons 2. There's probably 7 other sets being released on the next day.
Yeah, exactly. Anthology 5, and, that's 2 in the next, 2 months,
So jump up and down into the Hokey Pokey set. That's all foils. And
Of course. Dragon Ball Z set's coming out pretty soon. We got that D&D set. It's all coming out within a short amount of time. Next up, our other sponsor is the lovely Coalesce Apparel. If you love the shirts that we wear every Tuesday and Thursday, you can pick them up, and let me tell you, I'm hooked on this Long Beach collection, man. I can't get enough of it.
It's true. I always see you in them.
It's South Beach.
South Beach, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, they're both beaches. It's warm there.
Yeah, warm. We love it. I wash them. Let's not get crazy here. I just love them. Okay, what can I say? They remind me of summer. So if you want to pick up one of these awesome shirts, there's always new stuff coming in from Cedric and the rest of the gang over at Coalesce Apparel. You can go to coalesceapparel.shop, use the gift code SCG, and that'll get you 10% off one of these awesome shirts.
And our final order of business is the Star City Games weekly sale. This week is going to be 15% off all Commander product singles. So anything released in a Commander set is going to be 15% off. The sale is going on right now, and it is going to keep on going until next Monday at 10:59 a.m. Eastern Time. So all you Commander players, now's the time to save some dollars and finish out your decks.
Yeah, gotta love the Commander plays. I've been playing a little Historic Brawl and stuff, and I'm kind of easing into Commander. It's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't go over to the dark side, Corey.
Don't go over to the dark side, okay? But it's so fun. I might have to sometime. So, looking forward to Thursday. We had so much fun playing Modern last Thursday. We are gonna do it all over again. We got some more fun decks planned for you. So Thursday will be a Modern show. You're not gonna want to miss it. That'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, our same time. So that's going to do it, everyone. We'll see you then. For Rob, Ross Merriam, I'm Corey Baumeister. Later.